good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to. Let me turn down the music. Welcome to Turn Down the Music.
Turn down to what?
Oh yeah.
But do it in Jennifer Coolidge's voice. You guys had the perfect opportunity.
Yeah.
Welcome everybody to episode 22.
Almost went into 1,000 miles.
Yeah.
That's it. Welcome to episode 22 of Dragonlance: Shadow of the Dragon Queen. I don't know why you can't say it all light and fluffy. Maybe we try episode 22. Shadow of the Dragon Queen.
Coolidge.
Do it.
I can't
Shadow
do
of the
it.
Dragon Queen. There we go. Now it's
Nailed
Shadow of the
it. Do it.
Dragon
Yeah,
Queen.
that was the TikTok voice. You nailed the TikTok voice. Welcome in everybody. Thank you for the secret hype train that's no longer secret. You got caught with your pants down. Maybe not the pants down, but certainly you got caught.
Whoa.
We
Do tell.
we have a big time stream today. Everybody's gonna die, so I hope you guys are not attached to any of these characters that we've gotten in over the past.
21 times before.
And today's the real one. One at a time is gonna be real.
The real one.
Today's the
He's been
real
saying
one.
it since
This is the episode of Fast and the Furious where Vin Diesel actually dies. Okay, so
No, Paul, what's his face?
what's his
His
face?
legal last name.
I don't.
Do you remember
Right.
It was
Yeah.
several years ago. We can joke about it.
I'm gonna start today. So we're gonna go around the table, say hello, what we're playing, blah blah blah. But I'm gonna start today with somebody who's got a lot going on right now. 8 days, 8 games. I think we're on day 3, game 5. I don't know exactly the numbers. But we're gonna start with AJ, who's trying to do her best to make her way over to North America. So why don't you tell us all about it, AJ?
Hi, hello. My name is AJ Winters, and I'm an incredibly ambitious human being. I decided.
Oh wait, you gotta do it in
after
Jennifer Coolidge's voice. The whole thing. Go ahead.
I cannot.
And go again.
I can't do it. So that's gonna be terrible.
Good effort.
The 2
good
words of
effort.
this stream, we're all going and we're gonna be practicing this all week.
Yeah,
and come back
I'm
and
gonna
be
spend some
perfect.
time.
This is
but
AJ.
yeah, I am
She's going to
incredibly
Gen Con.
Gen Con. I decided, well, I got a few offers to participate in some cool stuff over at Gen Con. And then I was like, yeah, I could maybe go and do that, jump to the other side of the world. It's not expensive whatsoever. And so I decided to do a fundraiser for it. And then I was like, well, I'll make the fundraiser fun. I'll do 8 days of 8 one-shots. So back-to-back one-shots for One Shot Week, which is an event. If this goes well, maybe I'll do it every now and then. It's been a lot of fun so far. We've got game 3 tomorrow morning. We've only had 2 games so far, and we've already raised 17% of the goal, which is freaking epic. And we've had people like Ellen and Zach already guest star, and Rob this morning. We've got Dread guest starring on Sunday as well, which is going to be epic. Unfortunately, Rackham's schedule and my schedule don't line up very nicely.
No.
But I get to be here with you today, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, we're doing a lot of one-shots, some of them D&D, some of them different TTRPGs as well, which is really freaking cool. And you can catch that all over at Winter's Tales, the Twitch account. Yeah, that's me. Tonight I'm playing Cory.
Yeah.
Do you have a button?
I have a button. I'm
for
like,
me?
I need to put it there. I push the button, but there's also this
Yeah.
button, which is the coffee link for AJ to go in.
Aw.
If you guys are like, hey, I have excess amounts of money this month, like, there's a good place to use it. You know, I don't know. I'm just saying.
That's very sweet. Thank you, Rackham.
No, that's
I
fine,
want to
dude.
go to Gen Con and meet you in person. Be freaking dope.
Imagine if I got
happen.
sick and then I don't get to go at all. That'd be great. That
No.
tracks.
No,
That's about
no.
average for me. Cool. And you're playing, so
But
you were
tonight
saying.
I'm playing Cory. She is the middle sibling and twin of Lyndon, a fellow wizard, a wizarding twin set.
Awesome.
That's a weird way to put that.
Great. Perfect. Thank you so much. We're gonna jump around the board today. I'm gonna roll a d20. Dread.
Hello there, everyone. I'm Dread. About me, I run a channel called Dread GM. I'm voice actor, professional game master, storyteller, world builder. I'll try my hand at anything at this point. But if you want to know what I do, you can check out the channel Dread GM on YouTube, on Twitch, Twitter. I said Neopets once. I checked. My count's actually gone, so I've emailed them. I'm hoping that they will be able to get my account back because I love my Neopets. what I've got going on as well, I'm currently running a campaign of Call of Cthulhu. It's horror on the Orient Express. We're about to finish the first scenario, which is very exciting, and things are crazy right now, which is, what you want in a Call of Cthulhu game.
Hell yeah.
But who am I playing tonight? I'm playing Oleander. Oleander's the youngest of the Hartman family, a druid, and is finding their way in this world and their place amongst their siblings. I'm very excited because Ollie's becoming a little bit more brave, which is really good. And, we'll see if that lasts.
Nice. Of course it will. Of course it will. All the good things for Ollie. Awesome. Thank you. Zach.
Ooh, that's me. Zach
That is-
Speaks Giant
yeah.
is my name. I almost went into like an old school like dad rap. and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
glad I
Go ahead.
didn't.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Do
Go ahead.
it.
Do it.
Do
Never
it.
come back
Do it.
Uh,
Shabuya
And
roll
here to
call.
say, I play Dungeons and Dragons in a major way.
Yeah.
D&D. I have a YouTube channel. I have a Twitch channel. I do things on them. You can type Zach Speaks Giant into your local internet machine, and my name will pop up with the things that I just talked about. I'm
Nice.
playing Goose, the man from Caliban. That's with a B, just for all of you historians out there. Caliban is spelt with a B. I am the second eldest and most responsible and tallest of the family.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
All of these things. I think the last 8 things you said are yeah, perfect. Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zach. And it's between a toss up. Oh, Rob. Rob?
Oh.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. Hello.
There it is.
My name's Robert Hartley, GM. I'm a professional full-time dungeon master, TTRPG player, and nerd. I make Dungeons and Dragons related content for the internet on all of the internet platforms, every one of them. And consistently, I am Robert Hartley, GM on all of the things. You can also find me GMing for a comedy group called Viva la Dirt League, where we do half-hour episodes of a fun romp campaign. We've got like 350,000 subscribers on that channel, so
Nice.
it's going pretty well. So go and check it out.
How's
Have you ever had
tonight
Jennifer
playing Lyndon,
Coolidge
the other of the
as a
two
guest?
Lyndons. Yeah. Jennifer
Okay.
Coolidge is a recurring guest on the
Nice. Amazing. Amazing.
All of these statements true.
All of them.
every one of them.
Everything we say.
And I'm playing Lyndon, the other of the two wizard twins today.
Oh, my camera. That sounds.
I'm in the
Tailspars.
labyrinth.
Where's
If
Lyndon?
the
There's Lyndon.
twins had a podcast, it would be called Twincast, and it would be amazing, and I would listen to it.
Mm.
That
I
sounds.
don't
That sounds
think I
good.
would. I think it'd be really boring. I think it would be all
But
about
possibly, yeah.
spells. It would be Lyndon going on like sidetracks about how he
Well,
worked
you've
out the
con-
mathematics.
It
You've
would
convinced me
probably
now.
be in
I
a
won't listen to
conlang as
Twincast.
well that only they speak, so no one could listen to
Yeah.
the podcast.
Yeah.
They-
It's
they-
only in their twin speak language.
Unless you're a linguist.
There'd be like one person who'd listen, be a big fan. Oh, that was a crazy episode. And last but not least, certainly, and then my head's cut off. There we go. I'm in. Ellen, tell us all about the things that you do.
Hi, I'm Ellen. Hi, I'm Ellen.
Nice.
And sometimes I'm Jennifer Coolidge, but mainly only when I'm wearing this wig. It brings out a different side of me, you guys. So
You got the big pouty lips.
Gotta get pouty lips.
I'm an
can't
actor, I'm
achieve
a
it.
playwright, I'm a drag king, I'm a jack of all trades, a master of none. Follow me on Twitter at EllenKGraham1.
It'll be
and
fun.
It will be fun. You can follow me on Instagram at EllieBean96. But mainly, I'm part of the podcast Roll to Cast. That's ROLE. We won an Emmy last year, which was pretty exciting. Here's fingers crossed, maybe for a second contender this year again. And we do variety TTRPG content. So each season of our actual play podcast is a different game system. So there should be something for everyone. And if we haven't played a game that you're interested in, hey, next season, who knows what it could be? I know, you don't know, but hey, get in our Discord and try and bully that information out of us. It's easier than
Get
you
in the
think.
comments.
Get in the comments.
Wow, look at that. Call to action.
Yeah, and it's actually a very special day for Roltercast because it's actually our 4-year anniversary.
Nice.
Lyndon.
Noise.
Wowee, where has my life gone? Who knows?
You can go listen to it on your podcast.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
you can listen to me.
Listen
you
to
can
Ellen
hear
grow
me,
up.
You can hear me age throughout Roltercast. It's not pretty, but
You
art
can
really
hear me
is, I find.
age.
Yeah, so that's me, and I play Juniper, who is the eldest. I don't know, she tries to be the most responsible. She's definitely the most guilt-ridden sibling of the Hartmans, and as
Nah.
I've found it fun to keep describing things this week, she's God's unluckiest child.
Wow. Okay.
I really like that turn of phrase.
Well, with that lovely introduction and Tailspire crashing just in the nick of time, which is always
course.
a good thing, we're gonna jump to the trailer. We're gonna come back and do a recap, and then we're gonna enjoy today's TPK. We'll be right back, guys.
Not gonna happen.
It's gonna
You
happen.
might.
It's
No.
gonna
You
happen.
might.
All right, we'll be right back.
Okay.
Gonna give
We're too-
It has been 300 years since the gods punished the world of Kryn. They shifted continents, sundered nations, consumed empires. 300 years since the gods departed, ushering in the time of darkness. Yet nothing is eternal. The world begins to heal. Fragile nations rebuild, tentative alliances reforge. But in the shadows to the east, the drums of war sound. Will darkness consume the land, or will heroes stand in its way? Welcome to Dragonlance, Shadow of the Dragon Queen.
We got it. We're in.
Say roll for initiative.
Roll for initiative, everybody. Oh, as Jennifer Coolidge,
Bestow and
nice.
remove curse.
Yeah,
No.
do it, Rackham. Do it.
So last time we played, you guys have been through a lot. The Harmon family, when you sit and think about it, has been quite through a bit. But they're fine.
quite a
They're
lot.
fine. No trauma. It's all good.
Nah, it's all
Most recently, having returned to Calaman after facing and saving part of the Calaman army, or Caliban army, I suppose, if you ask Goose, they had returned to the Calaman Keep. There, they discovered that while they were gone, a retinue of knights, who were not really knights, surprise, made their way in, slew the council before heading down into the catacombs. He killed one of their leaders before following suit down below in the footsteps of a death knight by the name of Lord Soth. There, you vanquished the enemies that protected the catacombs, destroyed the incarnated, I suppose, perhaps, Knight Sarlamir possessed by the flames of the cataclysm, and after cleansing what remains, recovered part of a ancient broken Dragonlance and discovered that Lord Soth had escaped to the northern wastes in pursuit of dark machinations under the command of the Dark Queen herself. We left it with the family returning, meeting with Cassandra, the now de facto leader of Calaman, until the council can be replenished. You were all invited to the council, but have yet to be named to it, or at least to be brought officially to it. And there, Lyndon, Corey had faced the Mage of the Black Robes, Wyhan, forced to choose, at least temporarily, two icons that represent their allegiance. Corey choosing the red bundle, and of course Lyndon choosing the white. No, wait, never mind. The black bundle. Surprise! Not exactly. With that, they had cooked up the plan that they wanted to find Jackobe aboard his walking home before following in pursuit the fleeing knights and finding out exactly what they were cooking up north, and it wasn't meth. So with that, we rejoined the family as you guys had leveled up as well, by the way, are still in Calaman, still going about with your plan of finding Jackobe and or something else. And we'll pick up there. Hartman family on this day, after having vanquished the enemies of Calaman and finding the nefarious plans of Lord Soth, you have a lot of questions and very little time to find answers. What is it that you would like to do?
We're
Find somewhere to
trying to get to Jackobe,
rest.
right?
We should probably bring some folks with us, right? Because the whole point of Jackobe coming in was to get his devices to here. But like, also maybe stuff that and stuff what Cassandra wants. Maybe we keep the digging devices or whatever she was getting, right?
Are we still in the room with Cassandra?
No. I just have it set here. You guys
Oops.
left,
It's
and
true what Cassandra wants. Hi,
You-
Cassandra.
you were in the council chamber.
left.
But
Okay.
essentially, you guys told me that you were you had met with the black mage. You had asked her. If
Yeah,
you
yeah,
could-
yeah.
I think you have access to like the library now.
Yeah.
And it's up to you where you want to go. You had left your dad with Finch.
Okay.
And that's you were no longer with Cassandra at the moment.
I think we need to get to Jackobe as soon as we can, but I think a stop at the library, potentially learning more about this location of the dragons, might be
Yeah.
worthwhile. Even just taking a few books with us. Lyndon and I can read on the journey. We only need to sleep for 4 hours each, so
I could really
Let's
get
take
to
what we
sleep
can
right now.
carry.
let's
The
see if
whole
we can
point
also
is-
find Jackobe.
The whole point is that
Um,
we need to go quickly. So let's grab some books and let's go.
Yes.
Are we going to the library first? Oh,
Yes, let's go there now.
Like you guys are still dragging Lyndon, who has been hit by this necrotic energy, and you watch he's still like really frail, skin and
eyes are really
bones.
pumping.
He's like borderline almost falling asleep as you're holding him. He's just like not doing well at all right now.
Goose has refrained from flicking him in the ear, as is his custom.
Did you have you? He hasn't slept yet, has he?
no. If we're gonna check out the library, can I just at least take a breather or something?
It's fine.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
Don't feel
you
well.
can find a place like the city.
Potentially, Ollie could transform, and you could ride on Ollie.
Hmm,
We don't have time to stop.
yeah, okay.
I am completely tapped. I would
I can keep
need
Never
a rest
mind.
as well.
Let's just keep going.
Goose can carry you on his back.
No, I can keep going. I'm fine.
Piggyback, Lyndon, huh? Bud?
Nope.
Remember?
No, I'm good.
You like we used to? Little piggyback.
Find Garrett, the horse. That might help.
I mean, getting
look, I have to
through
get the
town
horses
on
ready
a-
anyway. I have to go get the horses and the carriage and stuff ready anyway. I can take Lyndon. He can have a sit while you guys get the books.
Okay.
Do you have locate object
There.
prepared?
No, I don't. I could do to be there if we're going to the library. I'm fine. I'm still capable. I've still got my
I just
energy.
wanted-
It's just
yeah.
not as much energy as it should be.
I just want to know how far away Jackobe is, if he's in the city, because this is where he was heading, or close by, or if it's a day's travel, then, we don't have to spend time getting horses and carts, so I want to find him.
I mean, looking around, there's like certainly city guards that have started coming back into the palace
Let's-
or the keep
let's
that
just
you could
ask
ask for
someone.
directions, sure, or information.
Yes.
I'm not particularly charismatic.
Yeah, someone will know.
Anyone more
Goose?
charismatic than me?
You
Yeah,
do it.
sure. Hey, oi, dig in.
Uh,
I rolled a 17.
That's not my name, sir, but happy to help. Yes.
Close. What are we looking for? The library?
Jackobe's house.
Jackobe.
Jacoby's house. Has there been any
anyone seen the guy with the
sighting
moving house?
or has anyone entered in a big house with legs on?
Most people enter houses with
Well-
legs on, sir.
A dwarf.
Well-
No, the house has got legs.
The house itself has the legs on.
Actually, yes. About 35, 40, maybe an hour ago, coming through the southern side, actually. They're arguing with the city guards. That's why I was late about entering the city. We don't have a policy for letting houses in.
All
So he's
right, all
outside
right.
the city gates.
I'm gonna go sort that out. Do you guys need to go to the library, or what do you want to do?
I
think
don't
the
need...
idea's-
Yes.
Oh, he's not
Yeah.
talking to me anymore. Fine,
Yes.
Yep.
Library.
Hey, bang on job.
We go to the library. He goes to the.
Will I be
House-
allowed
yeah.
in with a red
I mean.
cloak?
If you got disguise on.
Yeah, I can disguise myself, but we got into trouble last time because
Yeah,
of
but
that.
this time I'm meant to be there.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm gonna go with Lyndon. We're going to go to the library and collect some books, and we'll meet you at the gate. I know I said not to split up, but we need to convince Jackobe, and he doesn't particularly like us.
Okay, I'm going to make sure only to do really dangerous things while we're apart. Okay, Sikuan,
No.
bye. See you later.
I will go with Goose, and I will make sure that doesn't happen.
Thank
He's
you.
lighting
Also,
fires.
please don't
Yes.
get into an argument with Jackobe again. He will be stupid. He will be fumbling. Just be your charming self, Goose, and convince him to give us the house or come with us.
It's going to be a hard
Is it-
sell to ask this guy to give us his house, but I'm sure you're capable.
Is it not easier to meet you exactly at the library? Lyndon, can you... to, conserve energy?
What?
We're going to the library right now.
No,
you
but
are
we...
heading towards
probably
Jackobe.
Let's just. I think we'll sort it out in the wash.
Yeah, it'll all come
Okay.
to the wash. Let's go.
Before we all split off, Ollie wants to just have a quiet moment with Lyndon, if possible.
Mhm.
So Ollie's gonna just walk up and just lean in and whisper, "I see your strength, brother. You're more like father than... I see your strength."
I wish I did. Look down at my arms, and they're even weaker than usual. The clothes hanging off me.
I'm proud to be your brother.
I'm not sure that I see it myself, but I appreciate the sentiment.
I nod. If you need anything, let me know.
I'm fine.
I
I think it's hard to get in with Lyndon at the moment. He's kind of
definitely.
blocking out
Yeah.
everything about leaving father.
Yeah, 100%. He doesn't know what to do with that.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got to go. We're
Okay,
on
Okay,
the
so
number.
Aldi, who are you going with? Are you going with the twins? Or are you going with the Goose and Judy? Or are you going some separate way?
Ollie is going to go with... He's going to go with Goose and Junie.
Okay.
But there's like a tiny bit of worry there because the last time they went to a library,
Yeah,
shit hit the fan.
for sure.
But
Mm.
he looks to
Went
the
super well.
twins and he's like, "No, they've got this."
All right.
And we'll go with the other two.
Perfect. We'll start with the twins then. As you guys sort of split off away from the keep, you see your brothers and sisters or your sister leaving, heading towards wherever the gate, the western gate where Jackobe might be. You eventually make your way through the city, and you can tell that the city, again, soldiers have returned from where they had gone. There's commotion. There's a lot of uncertainty what's happening. Rumors about the council's been eviscerated, essentially. And they're like, no, that's just rumors. There's a lot of talk. The city's very alive with rumors, with concern, with worry. And people are saying, where are we meant to go? This is the safest city in this around. So there's a lot of sort of stress. For reading the city, you can tell that the mood is kind of worried. But eventually you do pass through a number of guards and places. You're left to your own devices. And the library stands in front of you, and the door's closed, but it doesn't take much doing with gaining entry. And you are, as holders of indicators for the robes or intentions, you all have full access to the library and whatever you want. There is no resistance and nobody getting in your way to disallow you.
Even with Corey being a red robe.
Yeah, the library is available to even white robes. It's available to all students of the high towers.
Wonderful. Then we will stroll on in and start looking for what we need.
What are you looking for?
To summarize, we definitely need information on Oniari.
Mm-hmm.
We want information. I don't expect to actually find that one. That's a long lost city, so probably no information there. But we can look for information on what's his name, the knight that we fought last time. I've got it in my notes
Salamir.
somewhere. Begins with an S.
Salamir.
Salamir. Information on Salamir, and in particular what Salamir's place of dishonor might have been, because that's where he said that they were headed when he was fighting us. I want to see if this library will sell me any parchment and inks and components so that I can start scribing into my spellbook. and I'm looking for the identify spell. So any spell books that they actually have at the library as well. Looking for the identify spell.
Okay. And is Corey looking for something different than any of this?
I'm searching for those books. Also, anything on the Black Rose, the Knights of the Black Rose, and a map of the wastelands that we're heading towards. Any journals of explorers touring that area or finding any ruins in that area.
Okay, awesome. Map and journals. And yeah. Perfect. So we're going to start with that really quick. We'll start with Corey. Give me just a general investigation check, please. And with your brother there, kind of looking and poking, Oniari, Wastelands, kind of similar, but go ahead and give me, with advantage, an investigation roll.
With advantage, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. Good
You
one
guys
already.
you guys are very good at this. This is literally what you do.
Yeah. That's what we do.
Okay, that is a 22.
Okay. So you find yourself an incomplete map of the wastelands. It has big, broad locations that would have been mapped by some sailors once upon a time, at least on the coast, and it gets a little bit less and less clear and more hazy the more towards the center it goes. The map is of seemingly elven origin. The Sylvanesti elves, at some point, one of the grouping of elves would have mapped this. Elvish is not a problem for you. You're not exactly sure of the origins past that or how old this is, but it's at least in the last 100 years or so. And you do find a journal that speaks of at least one particular detail about the waste that you did not have. Just parsing through it, and maybe as you go through more time later. But the wastelands suffer from an effect that's been dubbed the Wash. The cliff sides that abut against the Great Bay have the big openings or big furrows in that water rushes in and fills through, and sometimes it pushes kilometers in, creating sudden flash floods in places that you would not expect. You know that you'll need to be on the lookout for this as you travel through the wastelands. There might be a moment that everything is fine, and within minutes there might be a tidal wave pushing through. And in the journal notes that you find, the misery of walking and people drowning in the middle of what appears to be a deserted place really is jarring to see.
Okay.
And in terms of ruins, with the 22, so you exceed 20, so that's really good. There is talk of a tower that is broken that you should not approach. It seems to talk about the lingering effects of cataclysmic magic that still linger around it. And the explorer has, on the map initially, there is a section where they might have drawn it but have been very meticulous in removing it. So the absence, like the way that it's supposed to be sort of like H5 and you look and there's nothing there, but it talks about it. A very dangerous place of great power, and to steer clear of it.
Okay.
That's what you get. Perfect. Rob, I will ask you to do the same roll, please, and also at advantage.
You want to use my...
Your magic death. I
You
don't
wanna
want
see
to
if
get
it's
my
real good?
curse all over it. Say the thing that bounced out of the tray, because Jesus Christ. Fucking in the tray, bastard. Okay, yeah, great.
That was a 10 3 times.
17.
Okay, you find parchment, ink, and components are sold to you at half price at this location, so feel free to find, and it's in big enough quantities that it's fine. There seems to be some kind of connection that they have to the high tower where items can easily be transported over great distances, and that's a prime component. The identify spell is certainly amongst the mix, and you find a tome of most commonly inconvenient used spells. Because you are a full-on still student and now have indicated and have been temporarily accepted, or seemingly so, with the black robes. You have access to...
I'm a black robe, definitely.
You have access to identify and a couple more spells that are in here, and I'll be able to send you the list, but you'll need to copy it over if you want to use it. With
Do
the
we
you
have to
said
spend the time at the library copying it over, or can we borrow the book to take with us?
so for the spells, they will not allow the books to leave the library. So if
Okay.
the identify spell is a first level spell, I think, so that takes you like 30 minutes to copy over, maybe an hour. But otherwise,
Jesus.
yeah, this is books, magic, hard to come by, not something that leaves the confines of the library.
Would you allow, Rackham, that Lyndon copy the top half and I copy the bottom half of the spell to spare some time, and then we put it together later?
I would allow you to try 100%.
You have to
Okay.
be so in sync for that.
What?
I love it.
Well, we're twins.
Yeah. So the closest analogy I could tell you would be like you trying to write Arabic script. You don't know where the letter ends and the other one begins. Sometimes like you're like, I don't. Is this a so you could do it?
Yeah, that's why we take it in complete different pages.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
copy the left page. I'll copy
Excellent.
The right page.
Perfect. I love
Yeah.
it. On Oniyari, you find nothing with that roll, sadly.
Yeah, I figured.
However, Sarlamir, you do stumble on a story that's reported sort of like almost a myth and legend, but you do find a rather dry recounting of the story of the knights that went north. So if you'll bear with me, I will tell you what you discover on Sarlamir. The knight Sarlamir, Xanus Sarlamir, was once a knight of the Order of the Crown. And years before the Cataclysm, before the world was unmade, he had received a divine quest. This is the log entries of a cleric of Paladine who spoke of the mission. This ties back to the whole history of, the world of Kryn, where some hundreds of years ago, and these are maybe details that you didn't have, or at least maybe not the most interesting, but there they are, where the king priest of Istar had a desire to rid the world of evil, all of it, and in doing so was eradicating evil behind every witch corner, whether it was there or not. And in his bid for glory to finally bring the world to peace, he sought to elevate himself and transcend mankind, humankind, and become a deity himself. The gods were not on board with this plan. They sent a number of heroes to try to stop him, and in one of them, Sarlamir was sent to stop him in his attempts. To make that, he traveled to the king priest's home, which is briefly described as a place of great power, and he stood before a number of dragons. Sarlamir did. And when the dragons refused to listen, Sarlamir used his Dragonlance to kill the dragon leader, who stood by the name of Caravarix. As soon as Caravarix's blood touched the Dragonlance, which you found down in the catacombs, the weapon rusted away. And with this, when the deed was done, the dragons grew wroth, slew Sarlamir, and destroyed part of the home of Istar as well. Sarlamir's curse, or Sarlamir's great dishonor, is that he did not complete the quest that the gods gave to him. And because of him, he believes that the cataclysm was a consequence of his failure of achieving the goal that was set to him by the gods. And this, wherever it happened, the home of Istar, you gather by the inference and by the details, would have been this flying, floating city, but its location is not really indicated beyond than in the wastes. Or what is now the wastes.
So so Istar is a name of a person?
Istar is a nation, and the king priest was the leader of said nation and wanted to elevate himself to godhood.
Right.
His name is not indicated, written down. It's sort of like almost a Voldemort, where like maybe if you don't say it, it's not so bad. And his name is not showing here.
So this is not super helpful as to where we're going. But I found a section here about Salamir, and I'll relay everything that I've said. It's clear that the lance, which is all rusted, I was going to, when I get a moment, I was going to try and take a stab at, no pun intended, fixing the lance that Goose has. I don't think I'll be able to fix it with mending, but maybe once I can identify it.
All right. Ready to meet back up with our siblings?
I think so.
Do you have your half of the identify spell?
I have half of all the spells, yes.
Perfect.
All right. So it'll take you about 30-ish minutes to go through that process.
Yep.
Excellent. And then with the research, we could probably round it to like an hour of work to get all this information. Excellent.
Okay.
Junie, Goose, Ollie, you have headed through the city for a while. You know, it's sort of like when you're like, okay, I'm parked this way. Oh, me too. We already said bye. I guess we're walking together for a minute. So you walk with Lyndon and Corey for a minute before eventually splitting apart and keeping heading west on the western gate of the city. And sure enough, even from where you are walking towards it, you can see the big massive gate. There are a number of guards now that are back, sort of milling about, confused. And through the city gates, you see this enormous legs, 3 of them, you know, made of metal and stone, lifting up beyond what you can see at, you know, the top of the gate. Presumably, Jackobe has arrived, and the knights or the guards are very unsure what to do with a walking house that sits at the city gates. And
Well,
seeing,
the good thing is,
and when they
if
see
they're
you
not allowed
arriving,
in-
when they see you arriving, they know that you have a special, you know, title that's been given to you, and one of them immediately sort of, good thing you're here.
Yeah, this can be our problem. It's fine.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Delegate upwards. Excellent. Boys, we're done. And you watch as they scatter and kind of like go back to whatever they're doing. They just delegated the problem upwards.
Gods love not dealing with a problem.
Hmm.
I'm going
I
to walk up to the front door. Is it up on its legs or is it like down?
Oh, it's currently up on its legs, and you can hear from above, like Jackobe is, you know, there's the sound of devices and magic, I guess, for lack of a better word. But he's shouting down, "Have you made a decision? I can't just be here all day."
Yeah. Hey, Jackobe? It's us. It's Goose, your favorite best friend in the world, and Juniper, your 3rd or 4th, I think.
And I'm here.
Oleander.
And Oleander.
I don't think we've met. But that's...
No, we haven't. Nice to meet you. Can I come in yet?
Hey, you want to drop the house down? Maybe we can have a little chat, so we're not yelling through a window.
It takes a lot of power for me to drop it. Once I drop it, it has to sit for a while. So if I put it down, it's not moving for a good bit of time here.
All right,
How long's
hang on,
wild?
one second. I'm gonna. Can I jump up to the thing? Can I scale this thing?
You could scale. You could magically try and jump, or you could try to scale. There are like, you know, rungs for you to be able to climb. You know, sort of like on the side. So it's made to be climbed to some extent, but it's not. You know, there's a lot of. You know, who knows? But you could try, yeah, for sure. If you're careful, it's not a problem. You have enough time to carefully climb if you want to. But you could try to jump and be fancy
I'll
about
just
it.
climb up.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think we should get him to stop the thing. The idea is to keep moving.
Yeah. Let's keep this the engine running, you know?
Okay.
Which is
so
a
should
phrase
we
I
all climb
definitely
up?
wouldn't know. Yeah, let's.
I'm sure Lyndon's explained engines to you at some point.
Yeah.
There's this whole idea about combustion engines. I think it's just witchcraft, honestly.
It's just silly.
We
All right,
climb up
should-
into the house.
Yeah, we climb.
Climb up.
Okay, so the 3 of you easily climb up the ladder. You make your way and you arrive. Right, I have tea. I have very little food, jam, some breads. Help yourself. Can I? What's the holdup? I've been here for like over 2 hours. They've told me just a minute. There's an emergency. Just a minute.
Yeah. So, couple of things. First of all, you don't want to be in town. As I know, we talked about it. I know we discussed it. But big problem is that the town of Calaman is about to be up Shit's Creek without a paddle. Do you know that phrase? Is there an equivalent in dwarf?
Yeah, down in the mine with no light.
Yeah, same thing.
It's quite good.
Don't
prefer that
carry
one.
this around. But the council has been killed. They're expecting.
Well, you told me to come here because it was the safest area in the region.
Yeah.
At the
and
time, we were right.
And I'm going to be honest with you, Jackobe. More honest than I have been previously. That might still be right. I'm going to ask you for something that's entirely unfair. I'm going to ask if we can use your house to walk up into the wastes. We have an idea that the people responsible for this whole dragon army are marshalling power up there.
He walks up to
And-
you as you're talking, and he pokes you in the leg. He
Yeah.
pokes you in the belly.
Stop doing that.
I thought you were Lyndon in disguise.
Oh, yeah.
That
Oh,
is.
he does that. That's understandable.
Lyndon isn't as cool as I am.
What
so-
is it with you Hartmans and asking? Why would I lend you my house? This is my life's work.
I know.
Well,
And I know. That's why I said it's not fair. And this isn't going to be like a negotiation as Lyndon would do. This is going to be like offers and pushing you. I'm asking for you to make a sacrifice for the greater good, as we have done. And it isn't fair to ask you, but you're the only person to ask. This house is the safest and most direct and quickest way for us to get there. And if we are able to stop them, then we're going to stop a lot of people from being hurt. That's my pitch.
He looks past you to Juniper and Oleander who are there. What do you two think?
I agree with my brother, which you don't know our relationship, but it's very rare. When we said I need to say the right word. When we said Calaman was the safest place, we were right. It's just everywhere else is getting more and more dangerous. The army is spreading thicker and thicker. And now it seems like they have almost infinite supernatural power at their fingertips if they reach that location in time. Your house might be the only way that we can cut them off at the legs. Maybe stopping this whole bloody war. I believe in this plan, because it's all we've got left.
How did you find all this? Is this a vision from the gods? Did you guys hit your head? What do you think? You said, what was your name? One more time?
Ollie.
Heart sniffer.
Fart sniffer?
Goose.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
No, Ollie has a chuckle. I will say, well, from my experience and understanding about how this world works, that we're constantly in flux and things are, cycles. You're a part of the civilization that we're all a part of, the community, and that community needs you. If these dragon army invaders, bringers of great death and chaos are to succeed, your life's work is already at risk. You could lose it all, and beyond that, you could lose the people that can admire your creations.
It's funny how that works when we don't need anything. I'm just a dwarf. But suddenly, the world is in danger, and now I'm part of this community that I wasn't aware of. So you want to take my house and walk it across the northern waste, which I have tried, doing some work up there. I've heard that there are magical artifacts that sometimes can be useful for research. And I'll be honest, I had considered going. I had tried it. It wasn't quite ready. The wash is a big problem, you understand? Even if I wanted to, I'm not sure how well it would do in the constant waves of water in and out. It doesn't do well in salt water, so...
Looking at a marvel like this, I'm sure that the challenge is something that you would strive for. You
Look,
built
mate,
a great many
the long and
things.
short of it is, if you're looking for a good reason to do this, there's only one, and there is plenty of bad reasons. I, before this all started, was a frontman for a rock band, and I was on the side stealing money from nobles. So, you know, this whole situation has asked a lot from everyone. You have every reason to take this house, go somewhere quiet as you can, and be safe. That's an option that's available to you. But you strike me as someone who doesn't want to see people suffer.
All right, based on the arguments that you all have made, I will ask you to, one of you, make a persuasion roll, and I'll grant you a bonus. So first, who's going to make
Can I
the...
just say one last thing?
Yeah,
before
absolutely, absolutely.
You calculate that. Ollie's going to think back about what was first introduced to the person in front of him. I mean, you cook, you sustain, you nurture. How can you do that alone? First thing you said when I met you is, I don't have enough food for you.
But I have enough food for me.
Did feed us. That was something you decided to do, and we were very grateful. And maybe the next band of travelers come along who will also be grateful, or in turn feed you. Goose is right. We can't offer anything set in stone. We're just hoping that off the back of someone's sacrifice, people will keep going. Your good action will inspire another good action. That will inspire another good action, and another and another and another.
Well,
Communities don't work unless people make that choice to
on this
begin with.
altar of sacrifice, then tell me, what have you put? What have you paid?
We're all like bloodied.
Yeah, but he listen.
Like-
It's a valid question from him, I think. So
Oh man.
Yeah. But I'm like,
And Junie
personally,
just breaks
I-
down crying. We left our dad.
Yeah.
I used to live on a farm. That was where I was born. Now, I'll be lucky if it's ashes. I had a collection. There was no set inheritance for my siblings. So since I've been raising them, I've been storing away little bits of money at a time in order to give them the future that I never thought I could have. That is all ash now. It's gone. I've lost any chance of a future I've ever had. I lost the first man I ever loved. I lost the respect of his brother. I lost the respect of most of my siblings. And my ailing father I've now left behind. I don't expect myself to have a future after this. I never have. I've never banked on having a future ever. But I'm hoping that through these actions, maybe you might. Maybe my siblings might. And that just keeps me in the fight a little while longer.
okay, so I'm gonna ask Junie then, on the strength of that, to
what?
be the one who's gonna lead. But wait, before you roll,
No.
I want this could go one of two ways. Either he sees you as this suicidal person that no way is he gonna follow you. You say you have nothing to live for, basically, almost. You have no future. That's terrifying. Or he's gonna take inspiration from it. I'm gonna ask first Goose and Ollie to both make checks. If you guys roll a 10 or above, you add +2 to your total for each one that succeeds. Junie. So Zach,
Charisma, straight charisma? Or...
yeah, just straight charisma.
Oof.
I
So
got
for-
a natural 20 on that.
Okay,
gosh.
you're fine. You're fine. So Junie, you'll at least add +2 from Goose's aid. Ollie, what'd you get?
On a natural
Uh,
20.
For some reason, my D&D Beyond is like...
Do you have a
really
physical
slow on its
die?
rolls. It just rolled it. 13.
Nice. So you'll have +4 plus whatever your modifier is, Junie. Make a persuasion roll, please.
Yeah, then give it +4.
Come on, Junie.
It is an 11.
And that's with your modifiers on top of it?
Yep.
Okay, then
Oh,
it's so in the middle road that I will need to roll. Let's see how this ends up going.
Can I just say,
cough
Zach and Dreads, I'm sorry.
cast silvery barbs. I'm gonna cast silvery barbs.
Okay.
Disadvantage.
So I mean okay, I won't tell you my first roll. I rolled this again anyway. It still
Yeah.
sucks. Like I rolled a
Yeah,
2
yeah.
and then I rolled an 8.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
wait,
fine.
guys, Rackham needs to roll.
So it's
This
fine.
can still work out.
I did it in front of me with my big heavy metal die that has never rolled lower than like a 12, but today it doesn't matter. It ultimately doesn't matter.
It
just
doesn't
doesn't
matter.
My last
Just as-
first level spell slot.
I don't know why.
No.
I don't know why I ask you guys to roll anything because I just. But
I love
That's
how
what we
this,
want.
game
1,000
of
wolves. Thank you.
Dragonlance
One-
truly
I want
ends up
1,000
being,
wolves. Okay.
Whose
I
line
want
is it
1,000.
anyway? Where you're just at some point, Rackham goes, it doesn't matter, and the points are made
I've
up.
rolled 1. I rolled 3. I rolled a 12. There we go. Okay, it's too late. Anyway, with that,
No
you
take back seats. No take back seats.
You watch as Jackobe thinks for a moment. Well, there are very few dwarves whose name are written in history, or at least in recent history, and there are interesting ruins and things to be found in the northern wastes. I will be your moving house and base of operations, but I can only go so far before I think the terrain will get too difficult, and I'm not willing to risk my house. If ever it becomes an option between my house and you, I will choose my house.
Appreciate your honesty.
That's my life's work. This is, you talk about your legacy and your siblings and leaving them something. I want to do that with this. And while I'm happy to help you in your efforts, we don't know what we're running behind. You talk about a impossibly magic force. It doesn't sound great. But if I don't take risks, then what will I be? Just a walking library? That's not what I want. He'll start rummaging through a thing, and he'll pull out what appears to be like a hearing aid, whatever the big, like...
the ear horn?
Yeah, an ear horn that has what appears to be a parrot's head affixed to one side. And he hands this, he has 2 of them. He has 3. He keeps one for himself. He hands one to you, Junie, and one to you, Ollie. Tells you, presumably when we're out and about, you'll need to leave the house and explore to some extent. This allows you to speak at great distances. He'll motion for you to move away. He'll say something to inside the ear horn piece. You hear him, you don't hear what he says, and you watch as on your end, the parrot head pipes open and repeats what he said right in your face. Hello, my name's Jackobe. So with these, you can walk and talk. They're very useful at great distances. I call them fargabs.
Perfect name.
Fascinating.
Just
Thank you, Jackobe.
Don't squish the parrot head. It doesn't like it.
It would never have been my intention to do that.
No, I was talking to your brother.
The first thing I would have done.
Yeah,
it's the first thing I would
he's
have
looking at Goose.
I
He's
was-
like,
I came this close to doing it.
yeah, please.
Does it like things? Is it sentient or hello, Jackobe?
No, it's not.
You're
but
Jackobe, but
I like to ascribe feelings to things because I play with things a lot, and inventions are my friends. I don't want to talk about it. When do you intend to leave?
As soon as we can. The twins are off grabbing some books. I'm going to duck out quickly to grab some provisions before we go. And then, ideally, we blow this popsicle stand,
I don't know.
Well, it's another
We'll
phrase you have to
go.
get used to.
That's what he means. We'll leave.
All right, that'll
Is
give
there
us
anything that you need before we go?
rations, food. I was running low. This is food that I have for myself. I can magically conjure some of it, but not enough to. So it's 3 of you and the twins. Are you sure they have to come? Last time,
I would leave them if it was up to me, but unfortunately, very useful them too. So we'll bring
I
them along.
understand that sometimes my brother and sister lack tact, perhaps,
Tactless.
or
How dare.
Can be
Excuse
blunt.
me.
We're the best in our class.
You
I
should.
think can
they-
be incredibly
Someone got
blunt.
murdered.
I
Body
used-
odor as well.
I used to have a
Leaves a lot to be
friend,
desired.
and because of them, anyway,
Just
I don't want to
allegedly.
revisit this. I just he was a good friend. And
Sorry for your loss.
they served rabbit after he died. Anyway,
Horrible.
She?
You know?
Here.
Oh,
What? Pipkin was
Yeah.
a boy.
I'm
yeah, Pipkin-
misremembering.
Yep, yep.
I'll
So
go
with
to
that-
Jackobe, and I'll say, I understand in my own way. They were not always the kindest to me, but they are our siblings, and we are
Get
in
over it.
a time. We are in a time where we need to band together. You know, maybe we can exchange stories of what they did to you and what they did to me, and find some common ground, and perhaps become friends.
I think
Common ground of a hating Lyndon.
pretty much.
they're
I mean,
love that that's how Ollie
friendships,
makes friends.
sure.
friendships have been forged on much less.
He will instantly. You see, as he pulls out from behind him from the shelf. Somehow, like oddly near him. This is my list that I have been keeping of all the transgressions that your brothers and sister, your siblings have caused me.
List?
Yes,
That's fair.
your brother, which I thought for the longest time they were the same person, by the way. But
Yes, they do that all the time. Which one are you?
well, one of them really likes to play pranks, and one of them, apparently, I always wondered why one
That's
days they
Lindy.
were really studious, and then the next they were absolutely not paying attention. Anyway, he called me fart breath once, and I still don't know why. And I'd like to understand. And it's a name that stuck, and other people called me the same, and it wasn't nice. And I think it's because I'm short, and anyway.
I mean, that's why I gave my brother his nickname, Killer, is because his pranks, they have the potential to kill.
No, but that's a cool nickname. Like, you understand how killer is cool and like fart breath is not cool?
I'm not good at this nickname thing,
You
and
really gotta lay off on the
I'm-
nicknames, bud. Look,
I'd stopped trying.
gonna
after
duck
that. I
out real
tired
quick.
of the nickname giving. After that, that's why I called my friend Wolf. Wolf. It was simple. You're a wolf. Your nickname is Wolf, and
I mean,
that's what it is.
I call wrench. I wouldn't call it anything else.
If
they-
Goose is sneaking off,
Yeah, they're just
Juniper
talking.
might-
Like, I guess Ollie
Yeah.
and Jackobe will
Yeah.
chit chat,
Yeah.
and he starts preparing.
so
You can see as
cute.
he's moving around the
Yeah.
place, like starting to, and he'll start asking you, like, can you grab this? Can you do that? And if you want to stay there, you can, or if you want to go with your siblings, you can as well.
Ollie had a reason for coming with Goose and Junie, and sees the two of them leaving, and then remembers what he had to do. He looks over and he says, Junie. And Junie, you would know that Oleander calling you Junie is it's almost like an insecurity thing. He used to call you that when he was
Yeah.
very young, so he's
Before
very
he
loud.
had all his teeth.
Yeah, so before he learned how to say J, so he called you Dooney.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you know that whatever Ollie has to talk to you about here is pretty
Yeah.
heavy. If not now, I would like to have a chat with you, just the two of us.
Well, I was just going to say we don't need more than one person to get provisions.
Yeah,
I just
I can
want to
go.
leave. I'll write up a cursory list for Goose, but then I might also just as well, because I've got most of the kitty, I think.
Yeah.
So
I said all of last week's episode being like, let's not split up, and let's definitely not
the
send
first thing we
Goose
do
out
is
alone.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
episode, we're like, fuck
Yeah,
that plan. Let's send Goose to get
Yeah.
provisions.
Yeah.
That's like sending the worst sibling to go get food and ending up
Yeah.
having snakes for dinner.
That's
100%.
not gonna. It's gonna be
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
just like,
That is a
Um,
voice that means he's already
Yeah,
planned
so-
trouble.
Right.
so essentially, I'm just flagging the conversation.
Yeah.
So we don't have to have it now. I'm just like, Ollie was like, oh,
No,
we'll have
no.
this
I think
conversation.
Juniper wanted to catch some alone time with Ollie as well to chat. So I think she sees this as an opportunity. Since her brother has been fucking kidnapped by a fucking other
Hey, some fucking Feywild motherfucker.
Yeah, coming from the Feywild, take my brother.
He's been on another fucking plane of existence over here, and he,
Maron.
straight from that into fighting fucking skeletons and shit.
Yeah.
So she's just getting the sense that maybe it might be good to unpack some of that. Goose, here is enough money for our provisions.
Thank you.
Okay, look, you are an adult, as am I. I don't need
Fully
to be
grown.
having this talk about don't spend it all on shit we don't need.
Magic beans.
Yeah, you don't have to have that talk. So
I mean, the logic is there.
Yes, we don't have to have that talk because I wish it would actually work. Okay, it doesn't matter. On the off chance that you see Finch, don't look for her. But if you do see her, okay, tell her that wherever Dad... Are you listening?
well, yes. Don't
Goose.
talk to finches.
Please. No. Okay, all right. Sometimes it's like you do this just to piss me off.
That much. I will get food for us for our journey. I have to eat too. I'll get food.
Okay.
It'll be fine. Okay.
No, but if you see Finch, okay, if you see her, say that Dad's room needs to face any window with a tree, okay?
All right.
All right.
I will do that.
That's what he used to look out on. So that's
I will do that.
okay.
Okay.
And be safe, for God's sake.
Sure. And then he jumps out the window.
Honestly, I don't know why I bother sometimes.
Is that that looking up?
God, he's a
Someone
shit.
said that.
He's such a little shit.
It's amazing.
Like sometimes, not just Juniper, Ellen wants to pick up Goose and shake him
Yeah.
violently.
So over the course, it'll take Jackobe about 2 hours to get the house more or less ready to go. But you guys have about 2 hours worth of time to get any shopping you want. I know Ollie, you want to talk to Junie, and you'll have the chance here. But is there any? So you can either message me, but just assume that like all rations and basic things are available. There are also other items, but if you have money, like there are items that you could pick up that are a little bit harder. But it's it could be a little bit pricey to get things. But I mean like magic items, potions, that sort of thing.
I mean, we are also at war. I'm assuming inflation.
Yeah, there's a lot of rationing happening.
Do we still have those little badges that give us like free shit?
They
Cop
give
string
you-
free.
They give you.
Was
They
murdered that people
absolutely.
think was our fault?
They give you the access to the armory, and you can have any mundane equipment. So long swords, short swords,
okay.
armor, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like to need, you can't just talk.
Oh,
I'll take
healing
50 of them and
potion. That
resell them.
reminded
Yeah.
That reminded me, what
yeah.
when we had the altercation at that library that we were just at,
Mm-hmm.
but the previous time we were there, I flung the dagger that Ispen gave us at Wyhan,
You told the woman to get it for you.
and then I told the woman to get it for me.
Yeah.
What happened with that? Would I have bumped into her when I went to the library? and
So
was like,
yeah,
"Hey,
there was
there?"
one of the assistants or one of the what's the word? I don't want to say interns, but one of the junior people that's their librarians that helps with the library and copying books that are like fading away, that sort of thing, would have retrieved the dagger and presented it back to you.
Wonderful, thank you.
Goose
I
is
think
going.
after
could
we
Goose grab a
transfer some stuff, we
t-shirt?
might meet up with Goose.
Okay, I mean, yeah, if Junie and Ollie are
For
staying back
Goose?
at Jacobe's, and Goose is
Yeah.
the one running errands, I mean, eventually there's a chance that you'll bump into him. But Goose is
Yeah,
picking
I
up
think
food.
the
and-
twins eventually meet up with Goose.
Goose has
Not realizing
bought-
it would have taken 2 hours. We could have just done spells, but it's fine. We're gonna meet up with
Goose has
Goose to get the remaining stuff.
Yeah, Goose has bought rations. He has also spent money on a decent amount of cheap brown liquor.
Oh well, that's all right.
Yeah.
That's not too bad. Thought
Like
it
a
would be
good
something
chunk. Do we have any
completely
healing
fucking
potions?
irrelevant.
Healing potions, maybe?
We have
No,
enough
why
to
would he
buy
do that?
healing
He's
potions.
Brown
liquor.
liquor? Yeah, cool.
In brown liquor.
You can use it to disinfect the wound.
Exactly.
Yeah, antiseptic.
And he is gonna stop in to where they're keeping his dad.
Sure.
He's gonna stop in. He didn't really say goodbye, but he's gonna stop in now before he goes and grabs everything.
Nice.
His
You
dad's
want- you-
asleep.
Yeah, Finch has managed to finagle a room, the one that was assigned to you guys. Since you're not going to use it right now, nobody's argued with her, and so he has a rather large, spacious room. You've seen that she seems to know what she's about. She's removed a lot of the sharp stuff. Sharp objects have been removed from the room just to make it as safe as possible. The window, while there has been barred shut, like it's a glass pane. It's definitely, you can't open it. The shutters are open and it looks into a courtyard. And the room is big, comfortable, and she's going through the process of cleaning it and making sure that it's as safe as possible. And your dad is still exhausted, and you can see that he's asleep in the big bed. Like, despite his size, he looks almost like an infant in a cradle or
I like to think that Goose gets there before Finch is in the room.
Sure,
and,
she might duck out or something. So that's fine.
He's sitting just beside his dad, and he's kind of been rushing around everywhere, so he sits and like takes a breath for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks down at his dad's hands, and he remembers being always so little compared to his father, who was this massive bear of a man.
Mm-hmm.
And he puts his hand up, and like he did when he was a kid, when he'd hold his dad's hand, he'd always compare his hand to his dad's, and it was always bigger, and it was always so much bigger. And even now, when he reaches across, his dad's hand is still bigger. And he sits there for a moment and stands up, and Finch enters the room, and he kind of gets pulled out of his reverie.
Hey,
And he's like,
what are you doing?
"Hey,
Hi.
just stopping in. It's a good view out the window, but you're gonna need to reinforce the bars because he's crazy strong, like crazy, rips things out of walls strong. So like this, more bars. Finch, I can't. Thank you so much.
You do the same for me, right?
I really would." He gives her a big hug. Like, all right.
Hey, if
Don't
you
do
run,
anything.
just don't get yourself killed. You know.
Okay.
I mean, saying the obvious is kind of stupid. Also, if you run into like a blonde or something, like I just.
Yeah, I'll give
Yeah.
her your number.
Cool.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Well, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's. She looks at. Basically, I'll do whatever I want. That's fine.
Yeah. Cool. I left you some tarts underneath the thing. Love you.
Wait.
Fuck.
Before you go,
What?
she will pull the blade that she uses, her blade. She's like, listen, if fighting breaks this far into the city, we'd be fucked anyway, right? So maybe you can use this more than I can. It's gotten me out of trouble a few times. I never showed it to you, but it's got a neat trick. She shows you this blade that she has. It's a dagger that can extend either from a dagger to a short sword. It doesn't ever get longer than a short sword. There's a button that you can push, and you watch as the blade literally almost turns liquid metal for a moment before it just sort of re-solidifies into a longer blade. But it's got a neat trick. Once per day, it really gets me out of a pickle, and I can kind of step through shadows. If you find a place that's like dimly lit and you speak the secret phrase, you'll go from shadow to shadow. You don't even really, it's not crazy far, but like 60 feet is far enough for me to sometimes get into places I'm not supposed to get into,
That's appreciated. I always knew you had something up your sleeve like this.
Well, you know what? You know.
Hey, what's the secret phrase though?
Goose is a dickhead.
I'm gonna change that the first chance I get.
I'm
and
not
I don't
gonna
know
show.
how to do that.
I'm not gonna show you
so
how. That's fine.
You're a bad person on the
Yeah.
inside where it counts.
That's good.
All right. I love you. Get fucked. I'll see you later.
All right, I love you too, and yeah, I'll see you later for sure.
Yeah.
And she counts out. I need help putting some bars in windows. Where's the help here? Come on! And she starts like getting people up to follow up immediately with what you suggested.
Cool. And that's Goose.
Okay. Eventually, you reconvene, giving Ollie and Judy enough time. Jackobe's busy enough with the house that there is plenty of places for you to have privacy if you're looking for it. Or if you don't, then you don't have to, and everybody else can sort of meet up back in the house.
Yeah, we just went back to Jackobe's, I think, and we're sort of just waiting for Goose, and I'm just kind of sitting with my head in my hands on a couch or something.
I think I would be trying to. So Jackobe had a book on ice magic.
Mm-hmm.
So I think giving Lyndon some time to rest, even just a short one. I'm gonna start like looking over spells and seeing if there's anything in here about healing potions that Jackobe might know that I could start brewing, or Lyndon when he wakes up.
Okay.
And then that's what I'm doing while I'm waiting.
Perfect. I mean, your brother knows how to make healing potions. He's quite competent at it. I'm not sure if he ever took the time to teach you or not, but certainly
I learned poison, he learned healing.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are books in Jackobe's collection that kind of go over the basics of the ingredients they would need, but it's more a dissertation on like what can you get away with to make a healing potion. And so like one tome of like 80 pages talks about like his different endeavors of like 8 different plants and different concoctions and different times of day that you would do it in different heats. And it seems that healing potions are, you know, according to his book, you could literally throw any 3 ingredients in a pot and just cook it for 8 minutes and you get a healing potion, which is not true, but that's almost the impression he gives. Conversely, give me a quick investigation since you're waiting and you're fiddling around with the book.
15.
Nice. Again, in the doodles and the margins of his book, Jackobe wonders what it would be like if... What is the inverse of a healing potion? And he writes out, it's not exactly poison. Poison, you know, addles the body and inflicts an injury on it. But a healing potion would be something, an inverse, he writes, would be something that literally sucks the life out of you as opposed to reinvigorate you. It's not something that adds to life because poisons are just an extra thing that you put in, but rather something that immediately pulls out. And with the 15, you do see that Jackobe is a fan of writing in invisible inks. Somewhere in this book that you don't have time to look it up or find it is a recipe for a potion that you have never seen, that instead of curing wounds, quite literally boils the blood out of you.
Wonderful. Of course Jackobe has invented that.
But he for him, it's more about like what applications can I use it for
Curiosity.
cooking? Is there a way for me to like use this and speed cook something?
He has something
sous
similar
vide
with his
methods.
stick, right?
Yeah.
That sort of de-ages.
Yeah, he has
Sous vide method.
he has a stick that ages things, and that's what he uses to grow plants in his house. You saw him walking around where he hits a seed and it grows quickly. To him, that's just like cool. I can harvest food quickly.
Yeah.
Your mind went to what happens if I hit people with this, which of course is like, I would never do that. It never even occurred to him that you could do something like this. Why would you hit people?
So he's looked at like anti-healing potions so he can like humanely kill animals to cook or something.
Yeah, or like even
want to eat
exactly
meat. I don't know.
Yeah. So just a clean, easy way to clean carcasses or other things, and just maybe I can boil the blood out of it, and it's fine. And maybe I can cook it from the inside out.
His lobsters, though, are divine.
Yeah, it sounds it. It sounds it.
Whacking them over and over again.
They don't even know they're dead.
I love this concept of the unsuspecting mad scientist is just like
Yeah.
It's the lead out of the
He wants to
country,
be a
right?
chef.
yeah.
Yeah.
Love
it.
He's just got a brain that is just beyond
Yeah.
anybody else.
And it
I
doesn't
mean,
it doesn't
it makes
fathom
sense.
like
Use it for anything.
bad
Because if you
things.
saw like a butcher, like someone who's a butcher, like obviously they know how to like crack open skeletons and anatomy.
Slice meat most effectively.
Yeah, and a lot about that and how to dispose of blood. It's like, well, if you saw them and you didn't know them, you might think they're a serial killer.
True. So
Tool
in the
can be used
meantime,
many ways.
in the meantime, Ollie, Judy, did you have a moment to chat, or are we?
Yeah. So, do we want to do it here at the abode? That's probably the best
I
sort of
reckon
thing.
it's the only time we're gonna chat.
It has multiple levels, and there's a
away
moment
from
where
our
Jackobe's
siblings,
like, I need to just make sure that we're going to the wastes. So I have a rudimentary map. We'll probably stick to the coast because it's probably the safest. I need to adjust the telescope. I need to adjust the compass. All right. Please don't touch anything that I wouldn't touch. And with that, he will leave the two of you before he heads to like.
What is that? What is that? I didn't tell us.
Just don't touch. I guess we'll try not to touch anything.
I wanted to talk to you and how are you? There's lots going on and lots to unpack and lots to talk about. But I guess we'll start with how are you?
Well, Ollie Polly. To be honest.
You see Ollie. Sorry, Ollie.
No, you go.
Yeah, Ollie is just like right back to being a kid again, and it's like, the tension is just like banished in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, he said not to touch anything, but I think a proper conversation needs tea. And so I think she'll head to the kitchen and start
Juniper
making.
say, breaking the rules, getting tea.
And that's the tea, sis. And she'll kind of start maybe chop getting some herbs or just mint off some sprigs of mint. Honestly, Ollie, I think so much has happened in the past few days that I feel like if I stop and let it all get to me, I worry about not being able to go forward. Do you know that feeling? It's like when you're walking on the snow and you're walking just lightly enough that you can tread on the surface before it cracks through and you get the slushy underside. I just feel like I'm doing that. I'm walking as far and fast as I can without trying to sink.
You know that we're all walking with you, though, right?
I know.
You said earlier that you've lost our respect, but I don't think that's true.
Well, it's so strange once you become. I mean, we're all adults now.
Ollie just crash tackles, just big hugs, squeezes as hard as possible. We're with you, Dooney.
I know.
All of us.
I know.
And then holds the shoulders and pushes back.
Oh, Ollie, it's just no one tells you what to do when you're all adults. And there's no reason for us all to be together. Truly, we could all just go our separate ways. I think there's a part of me that always sees the rest of you as the kids you were growing up. And that's not fair. That's not fair to any of you. But yes, sorry. You need to talk to.
Isn't that what you would want for us to grow up? To have everything available to us to be able to navigate this crazy world and be able to find our way back to each other. I will say that the situation is a little different from being able to go our separate ways. The world is currently in a crisis, and we're trying our best to navigate it. And where else would we want to be but together?
It's true.
I
wanted to
wonder-
ask you. Oh, no, you go.
Ryuko, I've been thinking about something that you said before we arrived here.
Follow me to the orifice.
I believe it was that then. Anyway, you said it wasn't my job to look after the others and to put myself in danger and risk myself. But, I learned that from you. You do that for us in every aspect of your life. And I understand that you still see us as children, but we are here for you as well. And the only person that can let us do that, be there for you, is you.
You're right, Ollie. I don't want to stop any of you from being the people that you were meant to be. I just don't want any of you getting hurt more than needs to. And yes, while we are all adults, I will always be your older sister. I will always be the big sister. Okay, that's not something that necessarily changes. There's some things that I just think I have to accept. And that is that if there's ever a chance of being able to stop any of you from getting hurt, I will take it. No matter what.
The house at that point, you feel kind of shifts. You see the head of like Jackobe pop from the floor above as he takes a peek down. Right, we're gonna get ready to go. You can see that this is about when Lyndon and Corey show up and start making their way into the house. Goose is still nowhere to be seen. Jackobe will say, because, well, he's been eavesdropping.
Yeah.
Classic.
He'll say, right,
it is his house.
if you don't want to fall into ice, what you need to do is if you disperse the weight on like a big racket or something like that, then you won't fall in snow almost ever. And I weigh way more than you. So I'm just saying that like this is how you do it. You don't need to be some weird elf that just walks on top layers of snow. That's not a thing. That's actually not possible. Secondly, we have a story about dwarves, and there was like 8 of them, and one of them argued about like not wanting to be with the others, and so there were 7 of them, and then of the 7 another one left. By the end of the story, each dwarf had their own minds. Each one had gone their way, and each one was unsuccessful, and while they didn't know it, I guess they had a reason to be together even if they didn't see it. So I'm just saying.
The big bad wolf came and ate them all, right? One at a time.
Oh, why does he have to be here? He grabs his piece of paper and writes down one more thing on the list. He just adds
It's
another.
the Linden list.
It's the Linden list.
If that's what's been added to the list, that is tame stuff.
Oh, his list is long.
That list must be long.
It is long. It exists in a pocket dimension that he pulls out, but he only is pulling one sheet out at a time.
Dear diary, Lyndon was mean to me.
Why, Lilas was mean to me for like a big chunk of it. Sorry, go ahead, Ollie.
Yeah. Dang.
So Ollie has something that he wanted to say to Junie, but after that conversation, you would see hesitation. Junie quite, then when Ollie's keeping something from you.
Yeah.
And he after everything that was said there, he kind of like thinks better of like saying this at this moment. I don't know how you want to interact with that.
What? Ollie, I feel like we just talked about me. Is there something that you want to talk to me about?
Oh, I'm fine. Nothing I can't handle. It's
Jackobe's literally sitting there and he goes, he's lying. He's lying. There's definitely something. There's something that he's not saying. I can tell. I'm very good at telling.
Thank you, Jackobe.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Appreciate your wisdom.
Thank you.
I might adjourn to a different room with my brother just to have a private conversation, if you don't mind.
Food's here. Food's here. Everyone got food.
brilliant.
Dry meats.
food.
Let's
Where
just
did you
throw
get
in
so
stuff
much
at people.
liquor?
Dry meats.
Just came
Liquor
back
is
from
an
the
important
shops.
part of Jackobe said he needed it to run the house, so it's more fuel.
I
for the house.
didn't
He
say that.
before. You didn't hear it.
Ollie takes advantage.
Potatoes. Throwing
Who's
potatoes
entering?
at people.
Yeah.
He's going to
Gaslighting
use
Jackobe.
that as to...
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
fair enough,
Yeah,
fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll remember.
Okay.
All right.
A big sister always
so,
remembers.
So with
Are
this,
we ready to set off, Jackobe?
give me, show me. I have a map. Oh, you have a better map. Okay, great. That's really
Yes,
good.
I've been looking at some areas, and I've also been looking into some ice spells and water spells in order to keep as much damage away from your house as possible. I've heard there's flash floods and potential problems.
Yes. And when you say potential problems, he immediately looks to Lyndon. Yes.
Lyndon, can we get you to a bed? I think you need to rest immediately.
I'm working on it.
Well, while you're
As he flops over.
Yeah.
Please sleep. Please.
Where
Right,
would
right.
you?
If that's
we-
a good idea.
So we would need to cut. He looks at the map that he has, and we would need to cut northwest through the Vingard River. Crossing the bay on the house is not possible, but the Vingard River has a certain areas where it's shallow enough that we can make our way through. It'll be tricky, but eventually, probably. And he looks at the map, which I've shared with all of you. I think maybe Angelrend or making our way towards Wrecker's Edge feels maybe the most appropriate. Where do you intend? Do you know where this place is?
I do a minor illusion of a fart sound as he's talking.
Make a.
Oh.
You know what?
Oh, is that you? Oh,
Linda.
god damn, Jackobe. Not okay,
that's
man.
Ellen, not
Just get
Juniper
up and leave
laughing.
out of the room.
He.
I turn to Jackobe and I just say, please excuse him. He's scared, and this is how he deals with it.
Oh yeah, killer scared. No, that doesn't work. That really he
He's
looks
also
like
dropped
it's
on his
not.
head as a baby, so that might be it as well.
That is not
Oh,
true.
well, you try holding two twins at the same time.
Yeah, that's what happened to the
Did
third
you
one.
genuinely
That's what
drop
happened to the triplet.
Lyndon?
Yeah,
Oh?
she dropped the
Who's
she
shut
dropped the triplet even worse.
You
We
know
didn't e-
what?
We couldn't even save
Enough
the
of
triplet.
this. Let's actually go and do something that might save the world, right? Let's stop messing about. Let's stop doing immature pranks, and let's treat our house,
My house.
owner with respect.
Thank
you.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because he is the only person that can transport us to where we need to go. And so upsetting him,
I'm not in the room.
I know, but you're
You're just
probably
staring
still
after me.
listening to me. It's not a good idea.
All right. With basically as you map out the area, you know it's gonna the house moves, but it moves night and day. Like that's its advantage. It's not the fastest moving thing, but it moves well enough. But he's gonna ask you, like he's gonna show you where he thinks he can cross on the Vingard River, which is east of Vogler and west of Calaman, if you look at your map. But as you're heading north into the hinterland, into the wastes, you know, he looks at the general area and he tells you the furthest he thinks he could probably safely take his house, after which he's not sure how difficult things will get. But past Deep Draft might start getting really tricky. In any case, where do you want to go?
With the research that we've been doing, where would can I make a survival or something of where Corey would place like the most logical explanations of where this could be kept? The tower that was mentioned that had broken, that people were avoiding, some place of magic potentially nearby the
Yeah,
area.
So
it was the home of the king priest of the country. So
where that would logically
wherever
be.
the logical most place,
Sure.
like Buckingham Palace.
Give me
If
so-
Corey's
Yeah.
doing that kind of check, because I have favored terrain, would I be able to give any kind of advantage?
what's your favorite terrain?
I have 2 now. I have forest and
The
mountain.
wastes.
Perfect. So
The
this
wastes.
is the waste.
So wasteland.
Yep, you can definitely check that on D&D and Beyond.
Perfect.
There's waste.
Not sponsored, by the way. I will say, give me a survival, or nature. It's up to you to decide. And Junie's proficiency, even though this is not neither a forest nor a mountain, I'll give you a flat +2 to your roll on top of whatever you roll.
Was it once a
Okay.
forest?
Is your favorite terrain
Okay.
once a forest land?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Perfect.
forest.
Okay, so that is 14 in total.
14. Okay.
And looking at the way that the sort of those carvings of where river used to be,
Mhm.
knowing that there was some sort of cataclysmic magic force, where I would logically place a castle if that wasn't wasteland.
So here's the problem that you very quickly stumble into as you're looking at this. You realize that when the mountain that was thrown upon the world by the gods collapsed on it, it rejigged. It literally physically moved things around to such an extent. It boiled certain parts of the ocean, created new oceans, and removed other ones. This might have been at some point at the bottom of an ocean. Not just that, but
Yeah.
the map that you have is not exactly to scale. And as you begin
Yeah.
looking from the vantage point that you have and looking the distances as the house is moving, you realize that in the southern part of it, from Vogler alone, you would have been able to see some oddities in the time that you spent there. So it's probably somewhere deeper inside of the wastes. Now, whether it's all the way north, whether it's probably not by a coastline. So anywhere from High Hunt through the Giant Spine, somewhere in that vicinity is most likely to be enough away from eyes that perhaps there's something there, but it's
I'm
really
gonna assume, knowing how this sort of like how things would be named, or looking into the histories of the past and studying at the academy, Giant Spine sort of stands out to me as if we're looking for someone, old bones, like something to do with dragons, like something that's giant. Yeah. So I think heading in that direction would be good, and looking at what Jackobe wants to do and how far he can go. I think crossing the Angler Rend River was the one he wanted to cross. Yeah. And then heading up, like trying to stick inland rather than coastland. Is that the plan, to avoid flooding or
how's
tidal
it
waves?
crossing Angler End? Like how if we're at Kellerman Rand now.
So he wants to cross
Going
the
up and
Vanguard
then
River.
to the left.
So he'll cross like
The
adjacent to
Vanguard
Vogler and then make his way, but he can't cross the bay. With this device, he will not be able to cross the bay, so he has to go over the river. Yeah.
Way too much. So
Okay.
if we're going east, if we're going west anyway, up the Vanguard River, are we not wanting to go up the west coast, sort of Wormgut, Barrow Ridge area?
Yeah.
And get to Old Bones?
Yeah. Yeah, let's do
I
that.
reckon we aim for Wormgut.
Or should we head relatively central so that if there's signs of either,
Yeah, I don't know what's
around?
What the real
Do
scale
I
is.
know where the tower is located? Was there any clues or indications of where that magic tower that was to be avoided was located?
There is. Oops, hang on. Boop, bloop, my computer just did a thing. No, with the 14,
No. Okay.
you
No
don't
worries.
have the that.
Jackobe, I think you're right. I think we should head over the river, and I think we should head up relatively central, avoid any sort of crevice that might be a problem, perhaps skirting to the east of Wormgut and heading up.
So I'm just showing you guys are in Calaman. You want to travel northwest through the Vanguard River, up Last Lark, and make your way to Wormgut. Is sort of generally where you're wanting to go.
Yeah,
Head for the
to the east of
side
Wormgut.
Perfect. Excellent. Well, the house is on its way.
Okay.
This is- In the motion of it, I'm going to ask all of you, except for Ollie, to make Constitution saving throws, please.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Motion sickness.
Mm-hmm.
this reminds me, yeah, when I made all my Kids and Blacks players roll to shit themselves.
So I think Lyndon failed.
Oh!
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Oh my gosh. Was anyone taking bets on
Pretty ill at the
first
moment.
nat 20?
We
Oh,
already.
because I also
Oh, where's
rolled.
it, Zach?
Yeah, you
But you-
rolled the first
But you
one.
had one earlier, didn't you?
Yeah.
You had a nat 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
But
was
I
Zach,
did-
everybody.
I didn't do the prediction, but well done, Zach. What, Junie, you got a 20. Zach, what'd you get? Or Goose, what'd you
Yeah.
get?
I also got a natural 20.
Nice. Ollie? Oh, you don't need
You
to?
said
That-
you
yeah,
said you
yeah,
need
yeah.
to.
Sorry, Corey. Corey?
I gotcha.
Gaslight.
Yeah.
I rolled an 18.
And Lyndon, with his disappearance, I think
Six.
probably rolled perfect. So all four of you are fine. There's this motion, and in fact, you find it almost soothing, like a baby being rocked to sleep. Jackobe loves it. He's so used to it, and he finds great comfort in the swaying motion. Lyndon, you find the disjointedness of like the horizon moving, the thing. So while over the course of the next few days, because it is slow going, the first 2 days are just a misery. You're no longer cursed, so your maximum hit point issue has sort of been solved, but you are pretty nauseous, and any checks that you make while right now, until you get adjusted for the first couple days, are going to be with disadvantage.
Wonderful.
I'm going to ask, as you're
no.
cutting across
It's so Lyndon.
Yeah.
and beginning to pass through towards the waist, I will ask all of you, whoever's doing the lookout duty, or if it's all of you, Jackobe has a telescope that's not been adjusted. Instead of looking up, to look across towards the horizon. He uses it normally to study the stars, to study the constellations, and other elements. He's rejigged it so that it looks more across, like the submarine, whatever it's called, I forget now.
Yeah.
Periscope.
Thank you, the periscope, exactly. Who of you is on the periscope, and who of you is just using their eyes? Like, who's the person that's doing the looking out?
Not I.
I feel like Junie
I think
and
it might be me, yeah.
teaming
I mean, Ollie's
feel
really
like
good
Junie-
at perception. So
Junie
maybe
You're really
Ollie.
is
at
good at
perception.
tracking
Yeah, I'm
and
sure.
maps and survival, and Corey kind of maybe knows what they're looking for in terms of like the lore that she's been looking up on. So I think Corey will stick to around the periscope, the new periscope, but won't be the one looking. So I'll be
Yeah.
helping to spot
Okay.
stuff.
So whichever
Cool.
one of you wants to look.
I'll do it. I
Ollie
got pretty good
or
perception.
Junie?
Okay.
Or is your
Okay.
your perception's pretty good, Ollie? But
I have a +7. What? Jesus.
ooh, I only got +5. All right, you
Yeah.
do it.
Okay.
Ollie.
You do it.
Oh, cute! A little bonding thing with Corey and Ollie. I love it.
Yeah. I can't
Ollie.
see anything. I'm just gonna keep my eye out there. And it's an 18.
Don't give him a ship name.
18. As you're passing
Oh, no.
through, Ollie, you spot obvious signs of things that have been through here recently. There are bits and bobs of armor, encampments, bodies that have been left behind to rot in the sun and be washed. There's like telltale signs of recent activity of water. The wash currently, there's no flooding when you get past, when you're approaching. But with an 18 and with the rolls that I did, you do see something that definitely grabs your attention. In the distance, in between two sort of broken ravines, and hidden from obvious sight, you see let me describe it to you better, or at all. There is a stone archway. On either side of this archway are two statues. You could tell they've been worn. The bottom parts of them have been worn by the water washing in and out. One of the statues depicts something that resembles a draconian, one of these dragon people, but it is wearing armor, and it has a much more, with an 18 you can see it pretty well, it has a much more regal sort of posture, less hunched, less animalistic, less bestial, and almost this sense of poise and a nobility to it. This armored dragon-like statue, humanoid dragon statue. Opposite the other side of the gate, a human or a knight, a Solamnic knight in armor that guards the other side. This stone archway has inscriptions that are really hard to make out, even this, with the periscope or the telescope that you're using. But what your eyes beyond this archway that's in here, which is covered in runes and symbols.
How big is this?
Archway, probably the size, big enough to fit like 8 to 10 people shoulder to shoulder through.
It's like the Argonath in Lord of the Rings.
I think this might be something. I mean, there's a bunch of dead bodies and
Behind
decay
it, as
hold
your
on,
your
something
breath
behind it.
catches, you see something. Dust is kicked up in the air. You see 3 figures running, hunched over, long claws. Draconians. For a moment, you're not sure before you see something burst from beneath the ground. An enormous worm with purple scales grabs one, all 3, one after the other, but before plunging beneath the ground again. This is the domain or the hunting grounds of a juvenile, adult, hard to say, purple worm, and you have just seen it swallow not 1, not 2, but 3 draconians who were chasing or running away from this area.
That was astonishing.
Ollie, what did you see?
I just saw 3 draconians get swallowed by a giant purple worm, and
Oh, concerning.
Why are they there? Why are they attempting to enter a juvenile purple worm's hunting grounds? I look over and you can see that there's a black ring, and I don't know if it's just grease or if it's linden, but there's just a black
Probably
ring
linden.
on Ollie's
definitely
face.
me.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guarantee it was Linda.
I'm glad to see them get that. But should we? There's inscriptions. There's a statue. I mean, it could be something useful. If they're, I mean, we're already going somewhere that they're trying to get power. Maybe there's something that could help us down there.
Yes.
Yeah.
If there's scouts looking for other things that were magical, the last time we found scouts, they burnt down a church that was respecting and believing in another dragon god that could have had information about the location of this. They could have burnt it, taken it, eaten it, swallowed it. They left behind that stinking beast. Oh no, you weren't there. Oh no, you were there.
No, I was there.
That
I'm
was
forgettable.
before you
It's
went through the
fine.
portal.
I
Yeah.
understand.
No,
It's one of the
that's
things
not what
that
I meant. Ollie,
happens
that's
when
not
you're
what I
the
meant.
youngest.
Ollie,
I mean, it's,
I didn't mean it that way. You did
No,
a
it's-
great job during that battle. It was the other 2 that were out of their minds that time. Yes. Okay. Let's talk to Jackobe. He's not going to want to go into the nest of a juvenile purple worm, but potentially these statues could offer us information.
I have a plan for that.
Yes.
Jackobe is very conscious-minded about creations and resources and whatnot. And
I
from what
lower
know
my
about purple
voice in
worms,
case Jackobe is listening in.
Yeah,
Oh,
is
yeah.
Jackobe there? Oh, he's there.
No, he's not there, but he
Okay.
seems
It's
to
his
always.
house.
He knows every nook and
Mm.
cranny. He knows where like the voice will echo. He knows all these
Yeah.
things. So it's anyway. You're having a
A
conversation.
mind message, Ollie.
Purple
fine.
worm. Okay, yeah, we mind meld. Purple worms, they have invaluable resources from their excrement to their venom to their bile scales. There's a great many things that possibly not only the chef Jackobe, but the inventor Jackobe might be interested in.
So
we
you're
could barter with
proposing that
that.
we take out the purple worm?
I mean, if
You
we don't
also
have
know,
to-
Ollie, because you love nature, that tremors are also a telltale sign. So, walking the house.
The movie with Kevin Bacon?
Yes, we're going with Jennifer Coolidge now.
Telltale sign.
walking in the house is kind of like tremor sensed it.
I mean, if the closer you get to that the more the worm might take it
Yeah.
as either in
Yeah.
the front or it definitely it'll
Yeah.
indicate that something's approaching. So approaching with the
Yeah.
house is probably not the most
Yeah.
the quietest approach, we'll say.
I cast the cantrip exposition at that
Yeah.
point. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
nature fact.
What if we were able to fly? I've been working on copying Lyndon's spell, and I could send a few of us over to fly around the statues, gather
I mean,
the
yes,
information
that-
needed, return to the house.
That'd be amazing. I also have something that I've been working on, flight. But we could, between the two of us, we could definitely make that happen.
All right.
I'm sorry. I'm just
Well-
very excited that there's a purple worm over there. Yeah.
Yes, I'm not particularly excited about getting up in its grill,
yeah.
but but I think that potentially skirting around Wormgut, I didn't realize the name was so literal. We could head to Jackobe around the area, not necessarily through the nest, and then we could take a small scouting troop to the statues and fly above so that we are not in danger of being eaten. How high can they reach? Do you know, Ollie?
It depends on their age. That one seemed to be a juvenile, which makes me wonder what else is beneath the surface.
And if we go and observe it, would you be able
massive
to turn
grin.
into one?
Perhaps they're not generally a part of the nature. Usually they're what I think you call monstrosities. The bounds of their understanding usually extend that, but they are part of nature. I've been reading a book, and perhaps I could find a way with this book.
I think that's a wonderful idea, Ollie. Let's go talk
Yeah.
to the others about this.
Yeah.
Exposition. We tell everyone the information.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, this is horrible.
I don't think we should take Lyndon. He's not going to be
No.
able to fly in this condition.
I can fly. I'm fine.
No.
I've been practicing.
I think you should rest.
You look emerald.
I look better than I did when I was necrotic.
Yes, you have flesh back, but
Yep,
your
strong as ever.
skin color is the color of an emerald.
Which is why I've been flying. Because if I
What?
fly, then I'm not on the thing that's moving.
Lyndon, at what
It's
point do we
logical.
just say executive order? You need to sleep.
I've
We,
slept.
I think this is
it's
2
motion
days.
sickness.
This is
the
oh,
problem.
are
To be
you-
fair, he
Yeah,
is
yeah.
sleeping. Yes, I'm making sure of it. But he's
Over
not...
the last several days, by the way, I have just copied every spell that is in Corey's spellbook that wasn't in mine.
Yeah,
And I
and
had money
vice
and
versa.
things
Ah.
to
Well,
do.
no
In between
wonder you're
stuff.
motion sick. You shouldn't read and you shouldn't read at the same
Just-
time.
Also, I just there's much to do. Got to prepare.
You know, our family is not good at being told what to do, are we? You just
No, not at all.
I don't know.
I feel a
I
certain
would say
level of
2 out of
Schadenfreude
5.
here after trying to tell you what to do for how many years of my life.
Yes, well.
Hmm.
So what do we think? What's the verdict? Family vote. Like I said when I confronted you all about not making split snap decisions privately, what do we all think about this idea?
I want to see the
Is
worm.
it
I really want to see the
worthwhile?
worm. We should go. He stops himself, freaking out, and just like,
So investigating it further, we could figure out a safer path around, or we could figure
That
out
could be a
which one.
potential. The statues
mainly
could also
trying to
reveal to
figure
us
out
the
what the
location in which we're
draconian-
going.
And also to figure out what the draconians are trying to do with this purple worm.
What we're after, yes.
It does seem
Or whether they were
important.
after the worm or whether they were after information to do with the statues. Ollie said there was writing on them or something.
I couldn't make it out.
But you think you could fly in? and
Potentially.
get out.
I have a
get out
spell.
unharmed?
Lyndon has a spell
I was going to summon
Unharmed.
giant owls.
to a degree. What?
Oh yes, summon giant owls that we could possibly ride. Be bareback, but you have a spell.
Oh.
That's probably better to be honest.
I mean, I think it's again as
I wanna go
bad
on
as
giant owl.
Lyndon is right now. Maybe the fresh air would do him some good.
Are we taking
And
a
we
family
sh-
trip to the statue?
Yeah,
On
I
giant
guess,
owl.
Jackobe stays with the
Let's
house,
go.
and we can communicate with him if things get dire.
Yes, with the Fargabs.
Yes.
All right.
Ollie
Not a
has
Jackobe,
touched
catchy,
I know
there.
you're
not a
listening.
catchy name for it, but yes.
How about a... never mind. Jackobe,
Walk and talker.
I'm assuming you're around here somewhere.
When
I'm not
you,
even talking that loudly.
yeah.
I'm like
Jackobe says,
talking as though I'm
Assuming-
talking to my family.
first, Walker Talker is an idiotic name, so no, it's called a Fargab. You call it stick that puts food in your mouth. No, you call it a fork, so you don't get to name
What
my
about an
inventions.
easy speaky? Speaky easy.
No,
a
that sounds like,
speakeasy.
no, that sounds like a place that you would probably illicitly get alcohol or something. I don't know.
Does it?
I don't know. It doesn't sound
Obviously.
like that.
No.
Obviously,
Clearly not.
I think it just literally that's what it sounds like. So you ask him to do what?
Stay at the
Just
house,
stay at the house.
while we
Stay
go
put.
and look at the worm.
Oh, that's actually really.
Okay, you got it. Let me
Just a
just.
short break, or at least avoid the tremors and keep the house safe. Because, like you said, you will choose the house over us. You've told us over the last several days, several times.
Okay, let me make sure I put the things down just so to give you a good sense the map is there. This is a purple worm of a kind. There we go. Okay. It's not there. Excellent. So you are coming in, and you can see in the distance, the sort of like between cliff sides. Actually, let me switch the view so you can see better. Oh, nice. Wow. And then it's not there. There it is. Ooh, fancy.
Oh.
All right. Here's the waste that you're in, and there in the distance is this sort of
Archway.
archway. Beside it, the dragon person statue, and on the other side, Ollie, there was... Oh, it's disappeared or been eaten by... It's too dark.
Eaten by the purple worm.
There we go. Here is the human armored statue on the other side.
Interesting. Okay.
There are two large ridges that you guys can go on if you wanted to look down, but anything... The house is sort of like... You're about, we'll call it half a mile away from when you spot this, so there's lots of time for you to adjust how you want to approach it. So,
Would
yes,
the house
Jack...
be able to travel up the cliffs and stay like out of range of that trench? Or
So what
does it
the
have
so
to
what the
be
house has
trench?
been doing is been at the top level of these canyons.
Yeah.
And it's sort of avoiding, because down below occasionally, over the last 2 days, you've seen water come in
Ooh,
and then water fade away.
that's so cool.
Right? So you've seen
see
this
that?
sort of levels of water just come backwash and sort of then rush back out.
Yeah.
And so you've been able to sort of avoid it by staying on the top levels. So he's happy to keep his house at a top level and then let you do whatever it is that you're going to do. Oops, wrong place.
Okay.
There.
That's the magic tower that we were told to avoid.
Yeah, it's there. But, I say
Definitely there.
avoid. I know you guys are like, well, let's go check it out.
The diaries about the tower said to avoid it.
I know, but
we're
I
not
built
gonna.
it because I know what you guys are like, so who knows?
Yeah, we're gonna go see it.
Have a little looky.
So right now, I would say
Right.
you're kind of like up here, if you will. The house, I didn't build the house, but you guys are. I'll put you here, and then you can tell me what you want to do. If you want to stay in the house, if you want to get out of the house, if you want the house to get closer.
Can we ride?
We all.
Ollie, can
want
we
to
ride
go-
giant eagles? Because I want to ride a giant eagle.
I can try and manifest.
I would like to do
No.
it out of necessity.
But
I would like to do it for fun.
I actually think that the twins should cast their fly spell. It's not my
Yes.
moment. I know how hard they work, and
Oh, they should fly.
Ollie, as
but
much as we appreciate it, I
we-
think it's a group excursion at this point. Your giant owls could also help yourself, Junie, and Goose to follow us. If we do have a run-in with this purple worm, we're going to need people who can actually fight, and not Lyndon and I, who will be eaten in one swallow.
maybe
And
two.
I should probably fly a big, cool bird. So
I looked
We
at the
need you
twins
and your
and
strength.
I I sincerely read their expressions, and this is like kind of reference to how
You
like
understand
Ollie
as well,
just.
so it's
Sorry.
so it's really clear when we can cast fly, it's on ourselves or on one person. I can do it on one at a
It's
time.
not everyone.
Concentrate.
Oh,
One person.
oh,
So
one
the two of us
person.
can cast it on 2 people.
Right.
So
Oh,
Lyndon and I can fly, and then you could use the owls for your own journey.
Okay. Right.
Big L, big.
You see,
Uh,
if you want to
yeah.
roll a perception check to see sort of Corey's expression.
Perception or insight?
Insight into Corey.
Oh my gosh, Ollie, what are you doing? That's insight.
What are you doing?
It's a 9. I rolled a natural 5. I've got a modifier. It's just garbage roll. 9.
You're not reading.
You're not reading it very well. She's being
That's
nice, which is
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah. And you two have practiced this flying spell?
I've
Of
done it a
course.
couple times over the last few days. Yes.
And
Okay.
I just recently learnt it, but I think I can pick it up quite well.
We've been learning spells together.
All right.
If I may, GM,
Yeah.
a little recap over the last couple episodes of last couple of hours, or even days. There's been some logistics things that I would have done over that downtime.
You got it.
I would have cast Mending on the Dragonlance. I wouldn't have expected it to work, but I wanted to see
It
if
does not
could.
yet. Correct.
Then I would have taken apart the I would have taken a gem off of the Circle of Smarts,
Mm-hmm.
and seen if it was enough to qualify for my identify my material component.
So you need a pearl
Which
that's worth
is-
like 100 gold, I think, or something.
Yeah, pearl worth 100 gold pieces.
Yeah. So you could have gotten that out of the school or the library.
I could have gotten that from the library.
They would
Excellent.
have.
I
They would have. You could have easily just like, I need this for research, and they wouldn't have argued with you. So you could mark that as owning it. But you could also disassemble the Tiara of Intellect if you want to, the Circlet of Intellect. And,
No,
and
if
do
I
that.
can get the pearl from other sources, I'll get it from that. Which means that I have identify now. Which means that I would have identified a whole bunch of stuff. I'll just read some stuff, and you tell them if any of them actually have anything interesting for me. Otherwise, they are just what they are.
Okay.
Firstly, the bag of holding / devouring.
An actual bag of holding. The mystery is solved.
Nice.
It's solved. It's a
I
bag of
will-
holding, I can start using it.
But I need you to make an intelligence roll for me, please. Just
You
raw
will.
intelligence.
Raw.
Jesus
Roll.
Christ.
I'm a very intelligent boy though, so that's a 7.
7. It's a
Yeah,
wonderful
you can
bag of
throw it
holding.
It's a wonderful-
It's just a great bag of holding.
Good old bag of holding. I
It's a bag
believe
of
it's
holding
bag
with
of
a hole.
holding. And do I need to put any asterisks next to anything that I put in it?
No, you do not need to put asterisks in anything that you put in it. You're fine.
Bag of holding. The black emblem and the red emblem that we were given.
So both of these have significant boons and banes, I guess. So they have they add +1 to your spell saving throws, which is quite potent. They are absolutely used to track you to. They are almost under a permanent scrying spell. So your location, as long as you have these on your person, as long as you're within the same plane of existence, will indicate to any
That's the one.
sufficiently high-ranked member of the School of Sorcery your exact pinpoint locations.
Excellent.
Is it also-
for
does
your
he know if it-
information? Then we keep those in the bag of holding, which is technically a different plane of existence.
Which
and
means
so
they
we
do
can't
not
be
grant-
tracked unless
yeah,
we,
they do-
we don't get the
correct.
+1, but we also don't get tracked.
Correct.
But we are aware of that. So if we go into a fight and we need them, grab them out.
Yeah.
Uh,
Scrying as in they can hear us too.
Scrying,
Take
as
that.
in, yeah, so when people scry on you, there's usually a scrying eye that is associated with
you
it.
said
They'll-
permanent scrying, so
Yeah.
that's
yeah,
What's
watching
happening?
and listening if they want to tune in.
yeah.
Correct.
They've just got like 2 staff officers
Yeah.
in like a chamber
Just
that are
watching
just like
Essentially,
Things
these are they're weird
the-
twins.
Yeah,
So
We have
Probably
our own
not.
like FBI guy
Yeah, it's the there's a
That's
channel.
our case.
There's a channel on their Palantir that's the Truman Show. Whether or not they tune in is up to them.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah,
basically
yeah, yeah. Nice.
The headband of intellect.
is a headband of intellect.
Sweet. No discount, no curses on it.
Did you write circlet of smart?
Yeah, I got circlet of smarts because I couldn't remember what it was called. The enervating blade.
The enervating blade deals the extra. I think I indicated to you already.
Yeah,
it
you-
deals
you told
necrotic
me,
damage.
but in
There's
case there was other curse stuff you didn't tell me about.
the more you use it, so identify does not reveal curses, right? I think you
No, it
know
doesn't.
this. But there is an element to it just by virtue of you actually spending time with it. You can look at the runes that are on it, and it just loosely translates to blood begets blood.
Excellent.
Good.
Blood begets blood. In this time as well, just it's not on my list, but I just got reminded. Goose wouldn't have been attacked or cut his finger or anything, and we wouldn't have had any reason to know anything about his berserker bullshit.
Got this sweet axe, man.
The closest thing that would have occurred to you, if you want to, I don't know if he wants to. There's a moment where, in the middle of the fight, when he had the axe on him, he hit Corey in the back of the head
Yeah.
with all his strength. Like that's the closest indication you would have that something might be awry.
Yeah, I think I definitely gave him bullshit about that, and over the last couple of days, and we've kind of dismissed it. as,
Goose,
like,
is
he
there
just
is there a
swung and
moment
missed.
where you get frustrated? Is there something that happens that like you get uncharacteristically that would normally be a minor inconvenience, like stubbing your toe, like that maybe flares up in like you being angry more than normal, you would say, or are you just busy otherwise?
I think Goose tries to. The only thing that might do that is Goose has tried to. He has Smith's tools, and he has tried by himself, rather fruitlessly, to reforge the axe because he really loves this axe. As soon as he started using it, it's a pretty great axe, and there's nothing bad about it either, which is great. And he
what I heard.
tried to reforge it to be more like a hammer, and that just straight up didn't work. That's a magical object, so that pissed him off a little bit.
Jackobe is happy to offer his aid to do that.
Fine, but in terms of things that made him pissed off, that probably.
Okay, so there's maybe a moment where I'll let you decide if you think that's enough to sort of
No, I
be
don't think-
concerned,
I don't
but
think
he's
I
just getting
noticed
frustrated
yet
with his
that he's
axe,
got
yeah.
Cursed axe. The Dragonel signal tube, just so that I know exactly how that's actually meant to work.
Perfect. So for every, it's a refillable tube that signals any number of enchanted creatures. So there are dragonels that exist in the wild. They may be rare, few, dangerous. Those that have been enrolled or marked or saddled, as long as they're within 6 miles of the tube, will be alerted to it and will come when beckoned. This is like a calling tube. Think, Harry Potter Dark Ones kind of thing. You need to feed it blood to recharge it.
Cool. And does it say how much blood?
Yes. So for a normal human, elf, whatever, it's 10 hit points, or 1 from anybody who has any amount of dragon blood.
Dun,
Can we
dun,
have
dun.
1 HP.
over the
1 HP from
over the
dragon
last
blood.
day,
Yeah.
tried my blood?
You tell me.
Yeah.
To
I would-
charge
I mean,
it
yeah,
or to
would've-
set it off?
I definitely would have.
No, just to charge it. I want to see if
it.
my blood counts as draconic.
Yeah, I would have done that.
Of course it does.
The question is almost answered by virtue of the fact that when you took your shirt off to, of course, show off your muscles, 1, and 2, mostly to not overheat from when you're working with Jackobe. So this walking house has a power source and it generates a ton of heat. All the ice elements in the books that you've been seeing around Corey are literally meant to design to keep this containment
Cool.
chamber cooled enough so that it doesn't just overwhelm the house. At one point, the house has to stop moving for you to do this work so that it heats up enough, Goose, so that you can melt and reforge this weapon. It requires tremendous amounts of heat, equivalent to an ancient red dragon's breath, like the Forge of Creation level, fire giant level of heat to meld and reforge a magic weapon. Jackobe can do it. But you're so hot that you have to take off your shirt. And in that moment, Jackobe's too preoccupied to notice. Ollie and Junie would have noticed, just by virtue of their passive perception, that your back, where it was once just a small, then slowly growing, the entirety almost of your back from tramp stamp area to the base of your neck has now turned into scales. And
What color scales?
that's a wonderful question.
That is a good question.
The color that started sort of like a milky white, then turned sort of burnished bronze, has now turned into a dark purple, almost black color.
Those are both great dragon colors.
So the area that's been
Thank you, Linda.
the area that's been dragon scales the longest has turned black. Everything else is like sort of a bruise, you know, when it goes from like blue and greens. But like the closer you get to the center, if this were a wound, then the longest lasting part of that injury is now black scales. In any case,
I did cover up my tramp stamp, though.
yeah.
Having said that, would there be any vestiges of Goose's tattoo, like the ink or the pattern on the scales? I am kind of curious. I do have pretty good medicine.
If Goose had a tattoo or marking of his band or or something, or an injury or a scar or
It's
any
Goose's
markings,
own face.
sure.
As a tramp stamp. It definitely was a failed bet. It was almost a bet Finch. If you lose this bet, you have to get your own face tattooed.
no,
on you.
Whoever losed had to get my face tattooed on them.
Oh my god.
So good.
Somewhere Swan has a tattoo of Goose as well. But no, any markings, any
Remember something.
injuries, any scars, all of them have gone. It is just scale.
And
Alright.
what happens if Juniper just like flicks a scale off completely?
You
Ooh.
oh, okay.
Ow.
Roll a d6.
I want to see if it's. It looks like it's going purple and black, Goose. You might be losing blood circulation to it.
That sounds cool as hell and not a problem.
Losing circulation sounds cool as hell.
Blue and black scales sound cool as hell.
So what'd you get with a d6, Shuni?
I got a 5.
Right, you rip a
Sorry,
scale
I'm
out.
sorry.
You deal 5
I'm
points,
sorry.
which is in this case,
Ow!
in this moment, irrelevant because this would have been like a day ago. But
Yeah.
there's definitely, as you rip the scale, like there's blood that comes out, and
Ow! Dick!
I feel like
Rip one of your
Okay.
scales
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. for
the
sure.
the second you pluck it, Juniper,
The carving scheme.
the
Like
black
this.
scale that you have in your hand withers and dissolves into acid in your hand. It leaves a burn, which again will heal over the course of the day, but it definitely burns your palm.
Ah.
that's
Oh,
it.
wait.
Okay, I didn't
shit.
do it to hurt you on purpose.
Wait.
You know
I
what?
would have had to
What?
roll my wisdom saving throw.
Yes.
Against taking damage.
Yeah.
Yep.
Roll it.
Yep.
Fuck.
Okay.
This is really
It's
bad.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Uh-oh.
This is really bad.
I like this is all flashback. I fail.
Okay.
Oh.
So there's-
yes. Okay.
When we were having the conversation, Goose is locked up in one of the bedrooms.
You, without thinking for a second, turn around and punch your sister across the face.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Goose!
She ripped a scale off me.
Okay, stop.
You
stop,
don't
stop.
punch our
Ow.
sister in the face.
I'm fine. Okay.
I'm sorry.
You don't
That
say you're
was-
fine after you get punched in the face. I got hit in the back of the head with his weapon. I'm not letting you bully and punch up your sisters.
Okay, no, hang on. All right. That was an accident. The thing with you, Kari, was an accident. I didn't mean to do that one. Like, I didn't mean to hit Kari, but that was just I missed a thing that I was trying to hit.
Are you saying you
Right.
didn't mean to hit me then?
You know,
Yes,
you know
Junie, I
enchantment.
wouldn't
Is it-
hit you.
I mean,
Sorry, yeah.
anger
Just
makes us
did.
do a lot. Okay, anger makes us do a lot of things, Goose. even if we
Yeah,
don't
I'm not
mean
that
it,
angry.
aren't you?
Ollie's
Can you give me 10
squeezing
minutes,
fist
Goose?
in the
I just
When do
clenched
you know me
jaw.
to be angry?
Well,
Make another wisdom saving throw, Zach. Goose.
Oh no! Oh no!
I fail again.
What do you want to cast on him?
You're around
Come over,
within
bro.
60 feet. Junie's there. Jacoby's there. The
Oh,
commotion has brought
everyone.
your family to see, like, you're in the middle of this forge with this blade that's just refusing to do the thing you want it to do. Somebody's plucked at yours, blood coming out of you. They're all telling you that you're angry, which is only making you angrier. Who do
Goose
you go
is
after?
like, when have you known me to be angry? And then he grabs Jackobe and just slams him into the wall.
Okay, stop! Enough! Jackobe,
I
are
think
you
we need
alright?
to take a 5-minute pause. A 10-minute
Jacoby
pause,
was not
shall we?
expecting it. He was deep into working on your blade. You grabbed him, you pushed him face first into the burning anvil, and you hear the sizzle of his skin, and he's fallen unconscious to the ground, and he's just out. And his face is burned to a crisp, and you can see where, like, his cheek is still partially stuck to the anvil.
Ollie's going to cast Detect Thoughts at this point, if possible.
I'm gonna
So
immediately try and heal Jackobe.
Sure, Goose, you immediately snap out of whatever just
Sorry, I
possessed you. It smells like burnt flesh, and you cast Cure Wounds on Jackobe, which brings him back, but he immediately what did I do?
I'm
No,
sorry,
it's
mate.
not
That
your
was.
fault.
I'm really, guys. I'm
enchantment?
sorry. I didn't.
That
Yes.
has to be an enchantment. Yes.
Ollie, the only
Showing
thing that
physical
who did you
signs is
target
equals
with
a
Detect
die.
Thoughts?
Oh, Goose, right away, especially with what Ollie learned back in town with his dad. He immediately thinks that there's some sort of connection and will instantly push and delve deeper to see if there's any connection to the darkness that he experienced with his father. And that's what Ollie's thinking right now. Does this run in the family? Is there some sort of connection here?
I'm trying to see if you can target. It's typically I'm reading encode thoughts. I'm like, that's not it. Is there a saving throw? I think there's a
For
wisdom.
delving, yes.
Yeah.
Let me get that up for
Delving,
you.
yeah.
Sorry.
Wisdom save.
I
Yeah,
think
wisdom
so as
save.
well. I never remember
Watch
if it's
this
wisdom
be
or
the thing that I
charisma.
pass.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah, wisdom
right?
save. Go for it.
No.
Got an 18. Rolled a
Oh
natural
my
bounce.
gosh. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
I mean, can I?
Christ.
Is it a thing that I can choose to fail?
You can.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then, like, Goose isn't putting up a fight right now. He's really, really confused and
Yep.
unsettled. He's not used to being. He knows how to be out of control, and this isn't the
Yeah.
way that he is out of control.
Right. So Ollie would pick up that there's some sort of other influence here.
He's
whether
like
or not that's darkness or not.
you feel just like as if your finger or your mind has touched the top level of like boiling water. There's very
Yeah.
little thought there. It's just raw. Like it just you pull back immediately instinctively because it is
Yeah.
very, very it just feels burning hot. It's not
His
Out of
surface thoughts
character.
are probably, oh god, that's so bright. Because Lyndon has currently
Yeah.
grabbed his face and he's doing prestidigitation to create like a light, like a doctor, and he's looking at his pupils and he's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
fascinated.
I rolled
not in a
an
medical
Lyndon,
way,
I don't
in an
wanna-
arcane
Yeah.
way.
I rolled an
Studying
18 on insight. As Corey is an enchantment wizard.
Okay, so both
would
of
I
you. So
know
yeah,
that
here,
this
here,
is an
here,
effect?
here's what you see, both of you. Where Junie immediately jumps into like almost mom mode. Like, what the hell did you just do? This was uncalled for. She jumps to Jackobe, brings him up. Ollie, you're staring at your brother, trying to understand what the hell he's doing. Lyndon and Corey, you both notice that when Goose went off the deep end, he's gripping the pommel of his blade, and the simple fact that it's been tied down to this anvil to be reforged or like sort of be worked on, whether he knows it or not, his muscles are straining trying to pull the blade out. And the only reason that Jackobe got his face smashed instead of getting cut off is because he wasn't able to pull the blade off the anvil. But his hand is stuck on that pommel and he's gripping it with like just the veins are bulging. And when he snaps out after almost breaking Jackobe's face, he lets go of it and you can see that there's like almost a cramp that's still gripping his arm.
What?
That's an enchanted weapon.
Yeah. Enchanted with being fucking cool and sick as hell.
No, I'm an enchantment wizard. I specialize in manipulations of minds.
He's on.
enchantments,
axe
being
is fine.
charmed,
This is
that sort of
a
thing.
different thing. I
Why don't you
know-
try putting it down if it's so fine?
I can put it down if I want to. That I hit
So
you,
then do
Kari, and
it.
I wasn't even using the axe, so it's not to do with the
I'm
axe.
not talking about that, Goose. It's fine.
I
Cory
felt an
goes into like
influence.
clinician
Yeah,
mode.
yeah, yeah.
Like
Yeah,
you see
yeah.
Cory like immediately as a scientist and as a studier goes into like sweet nurse voice and is like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Goose, it's not the. Don't worry. You can be around the weapon. That's fine. I think Lyndon should potentially investigate it. Make sure
look
that.
at it. That's fine.
Yeah, of course. With how much damage I took as well, it could very well be that this has more power than we even realize. And I start like
It probably
using
would. It probably would.
Goose's
It
like
has- it's very cool.
desire for it to be powerful against him.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, Goose, it's up.
Fucked up.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. With that, as
Playing
you
into
are
the
sort of
addiction.
ushered away, and you can see now the actions that you've done. Your sister has a swollen like eye. You can see where you punched her in the face. It really sinks in that you just punched you for the first time ever. You have laid hands on your sister in a way that is
we
not
wrestled.
yeah,
Like-
that it like a genuine like you've played pranks, you've like probably done things, you've probably tackled her, hugged her, accidentally punched her by mistake
But
when
as
you were
a
flailing
full-grown
around.
adult.
But as a
like,
full grown man, you
no.
didn't hold back. You just straight
Yeah.
up decked her in the face. And you could look to her holding Jackobe, whose face is now severely disfigured and burned. Like, even though he's been healed, there is a significant part of his face, almost like Two-Face, to that extent. This is a hot forge that you put his head in. And even though he's now breathing and he's, faded back into sleep from the cure that just, the pain, you did this. And you are ushered away. As Jackobe's brought out of the room, you follow Junie, leaving your sister and Lyndon and Ollie with the axe. And so
I think Ollie would have healed Junie in that moment and just
Sure.
asked if she was okay.
It's
Instinctively.
I don't thank you, Ollie, but I don't need it. Jacoby's really hurt. I need to get him to cold water immediately.
I
I
mean,
know
you've
my
gotten
sister and I heal her.
Yeah.
And just like,
Junie, you've been hit. Junie, you've
I'm
been,
good
to be
at
fair,
accepting help. We-
you've been hit harder by your dad when he was flailing, in his night terrors.
Yeah.
So, it's not, it still sucks, but it's, it's manageable.
I think there's a part of her as well that's like it's always triage, right? Of
Yeah.
like who needs the
Mm.
most care, and
Yeah.
Juniper's
Yeah.
always Juniper's
Yeah.
always the
last
last
one. Yeah.
on her list.
But Ollie's
I
putting you
use-
first.
I'll
in this
use
moment.
like
so you can stop him, of
shape
course.
water. I'll use shape water to freeze Junie's water skin.
Sure.
For use and cooling and stuff, and then I turn to Lyndon. We start like nattering in science talk.
I left with Goose. It was not the axe
Yeah.
I was interested in right now. I'm casting
When
identify on
Goose
Goose.
when Goose
Oh,
left,
okay.
you saw a expression that you don't see. I mean, you'd like to see it more on his face, but he's clearly ashamed. And instead of arguing more, he leaves and does so quietly.
I went with you and I was muttering in arcane whatever symbols, and then 10 minutes later I've cast identify
Okay.
on Goose.
On Goose.
Yeah, on Goose. It
Oh.
says it specifically says spells, not curses. But I do learn any spells that are currently affecting him. So I want to know about his dragon scales, if that's anything that I would learn with that, and if the berserker thing is a spell.
All right.
Also, the ring.
Then I learn that as well.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
the ring is a separate thing that I do want to identify at some point. It's on my list of
Okay,
things
so
to identify.
lots of things happening. One, Jackobe is being tended to by Junie. He's going to be out for a period of time. He's going to need a long rest to recover from his face getting smashed in and burned. There's no saving his eye. His eye is completely gone, but at least he's alive. Two, Goose, as you make your way out, the thing that keeps running in your mind is the same feeling that you had when Finch got caught. It's the same thing, and it's happening again, except this time it came out of nowhere. Ollie, you're following your sister out. Lyndon, we'll get to your cast in a second. Cory, you're left alone in a chamber that is quickly that you're in here. The ice protections of this place have been turned off to do this work. Jackobe is out cold, and you can tell just by virtue of being around arcane devices and knowing your way around the school and just being highly intelligent, that if this stays this way for any amount of period of time that it's not controlled, there's a chance this thing overheats and the house is not going to be going anywhere anytime soon after that.
All right.
What do you want to do?
Then I spend. I think there's a moment that Corey is in this room, feeling the heat that those flames behind Corey's eyes of just wanting to release all the anger and tension that she's been holding behind her ice mask of a face sort of tempts her for a second, and then she realizes that if she breaks down and Jackobe's out, this house stops moving and everything stops. So I think Corey's going to spend however long Jackobe's out going over any of his notes and trying to maintain this house, and it is stressing Corey the fuck out. Like, by the time we get back to what we were talking about the next day, like, Corey's hair is out of the ponytail. There are markings all over her, like, blue outfits. She's been making tea for people just because it was on, like, Jackobe's list of things to do in a day that she found. And it's like, I have to do it the way that it's written on the instructions.
Okay. I need you to see if you're able to... There are glyphs that are all set in here, and Jackobe knows the sequence that just slowly turn it back on, because if you go from extremely hot to extremely cold, you're going to cause a different set of problems. I need you to make just an Arcana check, a singular Arcana check, to see if you're able to decipher the right sequence to turn this engine back into safety mode.
Okay. Okay. 22.
Sure. With the aid of his notes, the fact that you've seen his Book of Ice previously, you're able to decipher. You find the coldest rune immediately, and your mind goes, wait, no. I need to ramp up to that. And so you start with the warmest, and you understand now where there's a hot rune in here, and then it sort of works its way back towards cool until finally it reaches freezing temperatures. There's a sequence of time, direction, and levels of heat that you follow, and with a 22 you do not make a mistake. Over the course of the next hour, you ramp up slowly and bring up the coolness factors of this room under control. The weapon is half melted into its next form. It is not a usable weapon at this time, but the enchantment on it remains. After an hour's worth of work, the room is stabilized. I'm going to cut back to Lyndon. 10 minutes later, Lyndon, your sister is busy. You can hear the commotion in the chamber, but your mind is elsewhere. You're paying attention to your brother. You cast Identify on him, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, on him.
Okay. Goose is under the effects of a... You can't do it. You've seen Ollie kind of do it. You've seen the weapon... you've seen weapons sort of like get melted by Majorites, where we'll take a weapon. They can hyperheat metal pretty quickly. It turns into like a liquid form, and then it gets reforged as something else. That's something that you've heard of. You've never seen that happen in the flesh, but well, that's not true. You've seen Ollie do this. Goose, it seems, is under the effects of a spell. You surmise, though it is not confirmed because you didn't do it, that the origin of it, which you've had probably niggling feelings about over the past little while, is his ring. He is under the effect of a very slow, albeit very present, transmutation spell that is slowly transforming your sibling. You do not get the nature, or you do get the nature, but you do not know the full extent of it, except that by sheer evidence in front of you, he is slowly being turned into something draconic.
I'm going to need another 10 minutes, sorry. Apparently, I've identified the symptom, but not the cause. This, and I just jab him in the back. This is
Gotta
the
be
cause
careful,
of this,
bud.
and I poke him on the ring.
That's
This ring is causing this.
Yeah, I've basically figured that one out. That's whatever it is. But you gotta figure out.
You can't take it off, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, I can't, Lyndon. I can't be hitting my sister in the face.
I know.
Gotta figure that
I'm
out.
trying to fix that. I'm trying to fix that. I
Okay.
don't know if that, and I point to his face, is related to that, and I don't know if this is related to this, and I point to the ring. There's a lot
Right.
of things going on here that may or may not be related, so give me another 10 minutes here. I'm going to spend 10 minutes ritual cast identify on the ring specifically.
Sure. I need you to make a charisma saving throw, please, Rob.
Ready? Here we go. Hey,
Hey.
a natural Bowser for a dirty 20.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's go.
The ring is fighting back. There is something, but more accurately, someone inside of this ring.
In the ring?
Holy shit.
There is
Corey's not there.
an entity, a being, a soul, something is in there, and it is hiding in the corners like Gollum did in this cave. It has never manifested itself to Goose. Goose is completely unaware that there is something inside of this ring. This ring grants Goose the powers of magic, quite simply put. It allows him to tap into a draconic bloodline or draconic ancestry. It allows him to touch and manipulate the weave instinctually, like you had to study. He doesn't have to think about it. It's just there. It is beckoning. And what is in there is not revealed to you, but in that moment that you reached and looked, you found a pocket inside in there, and this thing lashed out at you to try to make you forget in the moment of its revealing that it was there, and you pull back in time.
Pull back away.
Identify does not reveal that there is a curse, but identify in this case will 100% reveal that this item, this thing, has tethered itself to your brother, and you would surmise, even if you didn't try, that short of cutting off his finger, this thing is not coming off.
Okay, Goose, I'm going to need to think about what that means. I don't know if this is related to what you just did. I think I need to go and do the same thing to your ex now.
Okay, you gotta be
Just-
better with revealing bad news, because you can't make that face and then go, something's really wrong, and then leave the room, Lyndon.
Well, I mean, what do you want from me, Goose? You're not good at making good decisions. If I tell you information that's half cooked, then you fill in the blanks and you add 2 and 2 together.
How
and you
bad
get
is
7.
it, Lyndon? Am gonna
I
cut
don't
the
know,
hand
which is
off?
why I just said I need to think about what I just saw. The ring is giving you the powers that you're doing. The ice things that you're doing that you've never been able to do before, that's directly coming from this ring.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so are
yeah.
the scales.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
The ring has a mind, it seems, it's a personality. It tried to fight me off when I was trying to learn more about it. So I'm going to think about that, and I'll discuss with Corey, and I'll reference my notes, and I'll get back to you with my conclusion.
Alrighty. Was it
Stay
like
away from people and stay away from your ex if you can.
I really want to.
Want to
Feels
what?
like all I want to do is kick down that door and grab that axe.
Yes, that's why I'm worried. That's why I think that the good news is I'm leaning towards thinking the axe is not related to the ring. Because
Yeah.
you didn't have the axe.
They're
You need
two
to give me
different
time.
things.
These things take time. I don't
Okay.
get magic given to me like Ollie.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna head back into the to where to where no doubt she's freaking the fuck out. Okay, how can I help? How can I help?
She's you're about
have
20
an
minutes
hour,
in.
right?
Yeah. So you're like you watch as like Corey's literally like you might as well not be there. She is deep in concentration in like finding the right sequence of runes, the right sequence to press to make sure the house doesn't blow up with all of you in it. And she is working in very, very hard. The axe remains forgotten at the moment. It's not of a concern. It's partially melted, and you can see the heat is starting to slowly wind down. It's gone from this furious bright white. And it's slowly, the heat is dissipating. The pommel, however, like NASA quality metal, is already ready to be touched if you needed to touch it. But the blade itself is nowhere ready to be touched. You will melt your hand off.
I will. I'll sort of stay out of her way, and I will ritual cast identify for 10 minutes and just avoid her hands. And then eventually, at the end of the 10 minutes, I'll sort of touch the pommel of it and cast Identify on the axe.
It is a +1 magic weapon. It's a very well-made weapon. It reinvigorates you. Your hit points are like your constitution is buffed. Like you find yourself really hale and good to go. Again, there's an element of this, if you're looking at a Wikipedia article, there's like a bunch of it that's been blacked out. There's something there you just do not have access to. There is more to this axe than meets the eye, and as you touch it for a moment, you could punch Ollie in the face. That would be fair. Like he got these magical powers from his mom, and what you could just punch me. He won't know. Like you could play it off as a.
Is here. There is several teacups in front of him, and he's drank like 3 or 4 of them. He looks over at his sister, who's in depth with what's happening, and goes and reach over and starts drinking the 5th cup, and just like.
and you know what? Tea, like in real life, tea tastes like pigeon water. It's disgusting. So.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, this axe, like immediately you're expecting it, Lyndon, because you've seen it in your brother. But there's a well of anger that you did not have there. Well, maybe it was there, and you're just not the greatest at hiding it. But it just flares it up to like it dials it to 20, and you just let go, and it drops immediately back down.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to Goose now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to reveal to him, look, the axe has definitely got something more to it than it's revealing to me. I've just copied down a spell from Corey's book, and I think there's something I can try. And then I'm going to cast Dispel Magic on him.
On the axe?
On Goose.
Oh, on
to
Goose.
Try and dispel any spell that is... I'm trying to break that curse, but obviously I don't realize that it's a curse. I don't have Remove Curse.
I've always allowed Dispel Magic to function this way. You are... I need you to roll a d20, please.
Alright, here we go. It's my specialty. Don't worry about it, guys. I notoriously roll well.
So this is a spell... This is a spell casting ability check for you. So
using my spell casting ability?
Yeah.
No proficiency, though?
No proficiency, no.
Oh, 13.
13.
Oh my god.
You are pushing against a dam with your bare hands, and you are not making headway. You feel it doesn't even begin to give. You sense it. It's there. There's definitely you can feel the magic. Yeah. You're pushing, but it doesn't budge. You could try again. You know that there's something you could be successful. You just didn't expect that amount of reticence. But I'll tell you this. This dam that you have here is multi-layered. There is the axe, but almost like, there's a tree and behind it there's a mountain. There's definitely something beyond what you have here that's at play. While your sister is still going absolutely crazy beside you.
Goose. I feel like if I try again tomorrow, maybe I can maybe dispel what it is, but you're definitely enchanted. Corey knows a lot more about enchantment magic than I. I'm much more about this, and I poke him in the scales again. I'm much more about transmutation. I'm not gonna hurt you. I know more about transmuting. I can probably help you with this if we can get that ring off.
All right.
But Corey would be the one to try and help you with that, and he pointed his face.
In the meantime, we gotta fix it, because I'm gonna be
I'm going
useless
to do
with
my
that
best
thing.
for that. Okay, I've already got a plan.
Okay. Because already I'm
I'm
getting
gonna
like
try
the shakes.
I know you're going to be antsy. The best I can do is you're not going to be able to pick up the axe. That's the best I can do. So you're going to want to, but you're going to not be able to.
If I don't, Lyndon, if I don't,
Yeah.
then I'm useless. I can't swing anything else since I picked it up.
You can't pick up any other weapon.
I can pick it up, but it's wrong in my hand. It slips out. It even my own hammer.
Okay.
The physical weapon, not that I wasn't making a euphemism.
Yeah, not your dick. Yes. Okay.
About that
I
time,
think that-
Corey is coming out of the anvil room and she's done. Corey, you can see that Jackobe has been brought to his bedroom upstairs. Junie's presumably with him.
Yeah, I would have been with it. Like, he's got severe burns.
He's got
That's
third-degree
more
burns
than
on his face. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's more than a one-day thing.
Yeah.
And so Juniper's probably working around the clock to, like, keep washing the area, keep rebandaging it, and essentially she's trying her best to, like, the eye is unsavable, but she can definitely do something about the scars, and she can definitely do something to stop it getting septic or infected, or, you know, him being in pain. So the whole time she's just, like, essentially being a doctor, a nurse, a caretaker, or
Give me a medicine check.
all
You
three.
know what? If you roll an 18 or better, maybe his eye can be saved.
Oh, there might be enough there. Sometimes the eye, like, retreats, you know.
Yep.
It's fucked up, but it does happen.
She'll be
Okay,
right.
cool. She'll be right.
She'll be right.
No walkers.
Classic.
Nailed
no
it.
walkers, say.
Nailed it.
You're right.
Oh, that's quite good.
I'm honorary. I'm gonna get my Snuggie and then we'll call it a day. That's the hot dog, right? I can't remember.
Yeah.
22.
Nice. With enough keeping
got
the
pretty good
bandages
medicine.
clean and keeping up with it and your cure wounds and actually literal magic at your side, it seems that while the eye at first looked to be, you know, just in dire straits, you were wrong. It's just the skin around it. Dwarf anatomy is a little bit different. But yeah, by the next day, as you spend a lot of time with Jackobe, who fades in and out of consciousness, you keep him steady, you keep him calm, and eventually when the next day rolls around, he will be scarred, but he will be able to see, and he'll be able to function. Whether or not he remains friendly to you lot, we'll figure it out after, because he just got his
Well,
face
I'm not a
smashed in.
psychiatrist.
Yeah. But it seems that whenever the Hartmen come and go, things are left behind a little bit more broken. In any case, Corey, you're down below. Everybody's there. Ollie's there. Your brother's there. The axe is left behind, but the chamber is now stabilized.
I was doing runes for so long, my fingers got stuck.
Yeah, that doesn't look good.
I don't think they're meant to do
no,
that.
They're not. Nope, that's not meant to be normal. I'll let's get you some tea or something. I will brew you up
All
a
right.
potion of some kind. Jackobe, I could do with some healing potion ingredients. I can try and fix this. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know that he's in
Jacobe's
much of a
fucked.
position to
Okay,
talk.
yeah. I'll find them. I'll know what I. Go lie down.
I have witch's hand.
Go
So
through his
juicy.
pantry and just find all the ingredients I need and spend the rest of the day just brewing potions. See if I can fix up some
Okay.
people. Everybody's
find-
going to
I'm
shit
still
around.
doing other things around the
Sure.
house and just shaking.
In his pantry, Jackobe has so his pantry is like a dimensional it's a dimensional pocket. He has it very organized, very regimented, alphabetical source. His mind and his organization skills are pristine. In fact, you wish that you'd had the time to create like if anybody does bujoing, you'll know what I mean, but like it's super well organized and everything's just well done. And
The instinct for Lyndon is to fuck it up, but he appreciates this organization so much that he doesn't.
okay.
He's like, I'll fuck with him some other way. This is actually
This
really
is
good.
the Dewey Decimal System fixed. And so as you're going through this, you're able to find all the ingredients that you want. Enough in here to attempt to make either 10 regular healing potions or given enough time, you have enough to try to make 2 greater healing potions.
Ooh, nice.
So it'll be up to you to decide what you want.
Uh,
Make an investigation check. Sorry, I have that in my notes. I was like, there's another thing. Okay, let's see if you find it.
The other thing, just before, because I was just going to say, do I have the disadvantage from being
No, not
essentially
anymore. Not
poisoned
anymore.
with motion sickness?
No.
The reason I don't anymore, I think, is because during the first day of moving,
Yeah.
I
you
spent
cast
8 hours creating my transmuter's stone, which I
Oh,
now
nice.
have at 6th level, and I can choose from a bunch of different benefits that it gives me, but I chose the one that gives me proficiency in Constitution saving throws.
Excellent.
So I think story-wise, it makes sense that after a day of going,
Yeah, you're kind of done with
I need
it.
to fix this somehow,
Yeah.
and I just spent my head going like, okay, I need to get better. All right. Fucking 6. I haven't rolled much above 10 the whole day. This was an investigation.
Yep.
13.
It seems that Jackobe has stumbled on an invention that all of you would be interested in. He has devised a potion. Well, there's a potion for the body, and at some point in his adventuring or thinking, Jackobe thought, what if there was a potion to replenish my mind? Why is my mind exhausted after I cast spells? I don't agree.
Oh,
He took
mana potion.
He took all the elements that he knew would keep him most awake, his culinary skills. He distilled it to essentially the purest of caffeine pills that he can find. He has a step-by-step recipe for making spell slot restoring potions.
He made Monster
I need
Energy
it.
drink.
Yeah.
He made the gamer juice.
He made G Fuel. That's it.
G Fuel. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't remember the actual thing.
It's fine. It's a super. It doesn't give you wings. It just gives you stomach cancer. All right. And so,
Woo!
in any case, he has devised there. You've never made anything like this. You find the recipe again, sort of jotted down haphazardly on one side. He hasn't had a chance to fully test it out yet, but the ingredients are there, and you could try to make a mana potion.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna try and make a light health potion and a mana potion with my alchemist supplies.
I go back to Ollie.
Yeah.
So we
Oh.
fly to the statues.
Yes.
Puts the worm staff in it. Wait,
Yeah.
Have any more
this,
tea?
this is why you never jump over 2 days of downtime when you're
Yeah, apparently.
we are flashing back now.
Investigate
Sorry.
first.
Yeah. Okay, but in
I
this
don't know.
moment,
What's
contextually,
the plan?
So
have we jumped back? Are we back in the current?
We can. So the weapon.
Okay, yeah. So fly to statues. Yeah. There's a look of hesitation as he looks
what
at Ollie. Sorry.
So I just want to know what
Kari's.
you did with the berserker axe. Did
Oh, yeah,
you?
sure.
Oh,
Goose, so Goose can't really fight
No,
without.
I know
wielding
you can't. Do you? Jackobe will eventually come to, right?
how long does
Yeah.
it take him? I just want to know for
He's
Corey.
functional. He's functional the next day. So on day 2,
Okay.
he's not all there, and he is not talking to anybody. He is gone from being like sort of accommodating, welcoming, to he'll stay with Junie. He will not leave Junie's side. Like whenever there's anybody around, he is like a hurt dog that's terrified, and he feels like a prisoner in his own house around you guys right now. He
Goose.
is.
I-
He's legitimately terrified out of his mind, but he doesn't know what to do with. And the only person he seems to trust is the person who nurtured him back to health, and that's only because he has no other choice.
One
Not the
question
person
about
who kept his
Jackobe.
house alive. That's fine.
One question
Goose
about
has
Jackobe.
made. Sorry, go on.
Having gone to school with him on an intellectual equal level, is he about my intellect, or would he benefit from a headband of intellect?
He has no need for the headband of intellect.
Yeah, I didn't think he would.
If
It's
you were to
not
give him the
paying
headband of intellect, he would try to figure out how it worked and how he could make it better.
Yeah.
He's an
Ooh.
artificer. Like
Yeah.
that's what he does.
Yeah.
Goose go. And then I'll go.
Goose has spent the downtime, definitely a little less boisterous than he usually is, and has been spending it in the kitchen making a tray of apology fudge, which is like regular fudge. It's just sadder.
Yeah.
Top tier, isn't it?
Jackobe
is
I
like
think-
sadder than usual.
Yeah, no, it tastes salty. I can taste the
Why
tears
does
in
it
it.
taste like
Taste
sadness?
Fair.
I think
And he puts
I don't-
a
yeah.
half of it like outside Jackobe's door, and
Mm.
and also
Jackobe
gives
doesn't
some
seem
to,
like
to Junie as well.
he has, like, at one point, Junie, he will turn to you and ask you what happened because he doesn't remember. Like, the only thing he remembers is working on this thing. The next thing he knows, he felt searing pain and he woke up with his face half gone.
Oh,
Traumatizing.
do I gaslight girl keep? Was it gaslight girl boss gatekeep?
Up to
She's
Junie.
not much of a liar, but she will. Okay. There.
If it makes your choice easier, Lyndon will definitely come in later in the day and tell him exactly what happened because he knows that Jackobe is an artificer and might be able to help with understanding what's going on with the axe.
The axe my brother has seems to be cursed, and there was an incident which ended up with you getting pushed into the forge, and I'm so sorry. It seems like I know that you would be fearful of my brother after this. And I know it seems hollow to say that it's not his fault. He did do it. I can't change that. But it was not his doing. And it was not his mind. And I'm just so sorry.
I need you to make a persuasion roll. I want to know if
Can she make it advantage because of the apology fudge?
I think she's gonna make it a disadvantage because his face is half melted off.
But what
was
about all
another
the
thing that
stuff I
Kari
did
was
to
gonna
help?
do,
The only reason you get a
About the
roll is because
unmelting I
you
did.
helped. Otherwise, things would have twisted a very different way. What'd you get?
Yeah.
Just give me a straight
13.
roll for now. 13.
Yeah, I rolled 13 twice.
Hey.
Seems either very unlucky.
You
or-
watch as Jackobe looks to you and says through painful gritted teeth, because he's still in a lot of pain, one day, I will push in one more day, and then you will leave my house, and I will go.
Okay. I have. Well, if we're not going to be with you for those days, I know that obviously you have your own magic, but you have a lot of healing to do. So I'm going to get one of the healing potions I have and give it to him.
He'll let you keep it. He says, I have enough to make for myself and look after myself. He looks to you now with genuine concern in his face. I know this is your family, but even in a quiet time, in a safe place, they found a way to make it dangerous for others. I know you don't choose the family that you have, but maybe this life isn't for you. Maybe trying to be heroes, and he points to his own face when he says this, is not what you're cut out to be. Perhaps let this be somebody else's problem. You know, the dwarves have hidden for hundreds of years. There is no shame in returning to the mine. I obviously made some bad decisions. Some good ones too, but I ended here, and perhaps I should have stopped looking for gold and just been satisfied with silver. Maybe the same should be for you.
Whilst I respect your wisdom, we don't have any luxury of hiding. I told you before, our home is gone. as is the rest of our family. And anytime we try and run from our fate, we are dragged, kicking and screaming, back into it. We are hunted. So it seems that for better or worse, we have to be heroes. There is some learning on the job required. I get that. And at the end of the day, we are just people.
The item
We
that
are
I
really
picked up for Cassandra, I never offloaded it. They never let me in the city. Is this something that you want, or do I just take it back?
The item were like large.
It's a big
arms
thing
of
that's
war,
like a
right?
dig. Yeah, it's like a big. He made it, right? And it's like this
With a
digger that just kind of
detonation.
that burrows down and could possibly,
Mhm.
yes, explode.
Detonate the worm.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's better in our hands
Mm.
than
Yeah. Not the worm.
we would
where you
want.
take it to
We
the
would
city.
want it over the council.
It's
We are
yours.
the
It's been
council.
it's been paid for. It's yours to take. I'll offload it whenever you want me to. I need to.
I know it's.
I need to make sure
I
the
know-
forge is the engine's working. Your sister may be brilliant, but there's some. It can be finicky. And
Okay.
he'll excuse himself and just walk without talking to anybody. He'll not touch his sadness caramel. He'll make or fudge. Sorry.
Apology fudge.
Hasn't
Thank
even
you.
seen that it's fudge. It's they're caramels.
and he
Sadness, caramel.
and he sort of walks by. He's like, I'm allergic to peanuts anyway. And he'll walk past.
Doesn't have peanuts.
He's like, he's trying to kill me again, and he'll walk past to the forge chamber and just like he, whether or not anybody's watching him, you'll see that he's quietly impressed by the work that Corey actually did.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm in there when he arrives because I'm
Cool.
studying this axe from a distance and just
Sure.
like and then I'm like, oh, just the man I wanted to see. Oh God, you look horrible. This axe is cursed, I think. Could you know items and artifacts and things? This is the reason that Goose kind of lost his mind and attacked you. Wasn't really his fault. I've identified that there's something not right in his head, and it's because of this. When I touched it, it made me feel overwhelmingly angry.
Hmm.
I wondered if you could help me identify it, like get rid of it, dispel it. I don't.
We could melt it. I've never.
The
I
problem
hate.
is the axe itself is the only weapon that he is able to wield.
For now.
Yes, if we can get rid of that obsession, that compulsion.
He looks behind us. Corey kind of walks in. Well, every
I
item.
just
every
look
item
directly
has.
into his eyes.
Yeah, every item at its core. Have you ever touched a magical item and you form a bond with it? Is that something that you're familiar with? That feeling.
Yes, kind of.
Okay.
In fact, actually, the rune that you gave me, that was the first time.
There is a sense of
feeling
your
that
soul
spell.
that sort of almost splits in parts that you can assign or bind yourself to these items. I've worked my life around this feeling of understanding why certain items behave this way and not. But all of these items, these attunements that you bind yourself to, have a nugget of pure weave to them. And it is a simple fact that unmaking this weave or unmaking this raw bit of magic breaks any item and typically ends any enchantment. So I've discovered that sufficiently heating an item or refrigerating an item, which is surprisingly harder to do, allows it to become brittle enough that that nugget or that heartbeat of these individual items becomes available to be broken quite physically.
So we break the axe, we break the enchantment that's messing with him, and then he can go back to using regular weapons.
That sounds like a great idea.
It might
Except that this is actually a very good axe. I would
it
have
might
to
hurt him in the
for him a little
process,
bit.
but at this point I'm not sure I care.
No, I don't. I think that's fair.
Um,
Eye for an eye and all that. He's missing one. You're missing it. Is it just a?
Jackobe.
He's
It's
got his eye
just-
back.
His
I need
eyes like
to-
messed up, but like it's
like I
yeah.
did
I need to-
nothing.
Sorry, Corey.
He's
go
got
ahead.
an eye.
Yeah, but
He's got
I will
eyes.
jump at any opportunity to tease it.
You are a genius. I've spent the last day trying to figure out your runes, your structures, your lists, all the notes, and the order to everything. And I want you to know that you are a genius.
Thank you, Corey,
No, it's not
Corliss. While I might understand items, I failed, and he puts his hand instinctively to his face. I failed to understand people, I think. Do we want to?
Same.
Do we want to break this now?
Yes. Yes.
I think
Yes.
so. I should tell Goose.
No.
It's
No,
okay.
he'll fight us. He's angry enough as is. You saw the control that this thing has on him. If we tell him
Okay,
that we're
okay,
going to
yeah,
break
no,
it,
you're
he's
right,
going to
you're
fight
right.
us.
You're right. I will,
Just tell him afterward.
I will make him.
Shall I make a distraction?
I can do that.
Should
So-
I distract the family?
Ollie's
Ah!
I just break.
standing there.
Jesus,
No one
Ollie.
noticed
Why?
Ollie.
Why do you
Forgettable.
Ah!
I. Perhaps it's one of my gifts.
Forgettable. He's just been there the whole time as well. He didn't even sneak
Look
up.
at this
He
6'8"
was, like,
guy
in front
standing
of
there.
us.
Nobody notices him. I love it.
I can cause a distraction. I think I'm quite proficient in distracting Goose.
But are you good at lying, Ollie?
Doesn't have to lie to him. Just distract him. Just show him a good time. Not in a weird way, but like
What?
have fun with him. Play cards with him. or
Ooh,
something.
he got liquor. Okay, well, no, that's not a good idea.
No, don't get him drunk.
Yeah,
I quite
it's-
like being drunk. I
Like-
tried it one time when we were back at
not-
Vogler. And
That's not
I,
no. I take that back. I take that completely back. Yes, Ollie, you go and distract
Good
him,
distract.
and we shall destroy this weapon, and I will then be able to sleep.
Ollie, as you
I
leave
will
the
Really
chamber,
parched.
you hear Jackobe just say, as soon as you step out of the room, in a very sort of NASA way, seal the chamber, and he looks past and Corey, there's a button or there's a thing that you had seen previously that you hadn't touched because it wasn't part of the sequence, and he points to it for you to go and press it. And in doing so, the doors, both
I
exits.
wave really creepily at Ollie.
Um,
Ollie
Unintentionally.
flashes back to all the cups of tea that he had to drink and how long he had to urinate for.
The three of you are in here.
Yeah.
I'll say this. Jackobe will do all the work of getting the weapon ready to be destroyed, but he will let one of you two, the actual act, he'll walk you through it. There's a specific tool that he has that looks like a hammer, but it has where the pommel like sort of meets the head of the hammer, it's partially hollowed out, and there's a spike that comes out of it. What he describes to you almost looks like a gold nugget. He'll tell you that it'll look like a bright light in the shape of a sphere. Sometimes they're light, sometimes they're dark, sometimes they're a little bit more egg-shaped or whatever. And when it's available and you see it, you smash it. He tells you there's risk involved with it, and he's not quite figured
I'll
out
take the risk.
how to mitigate all that, but the echo that exists within Goose's body will certainly detonate or implode as well, and there will definitely be some damage associated with it. So there's a risk to whoever does it,
Jackobe.
and there's a risk to whoever there's no risk. There's guaranteed problems for Goose.
When
No.
you say smash it, to be with strength.
It's less about
Hypothetically speaking,
it's
if we
less
were to
about
talk
your
about, like our assets in number form.
yeah, you can it's definitely there's a strength element to it, yes, because you need to be strong enough to actually break it.
I should.
What? You think you're stronger than me?
Yes,
You're not stronger than me.
I most certainly am, and I will. Every time that we have wrestled, I have won.
If
Well,
the-
that's patently not true. I'll get larger. I can enlarge myself,
That's
and then I can enhance the. What did you say? I'm smashing it with, Rackham?
It's a specific artificer tool, but it would be athletics.
So I can cast magic weapon on that artificer tool,
okay.
and then make it a magic
Yes.
artificer tool. It's probably a magic anyway. It's artificer.
You can roll really well.
Out of character on a meta level, this feels weird to be. It feels weird to be doing this about making this decision for Zach. Are you okay with us breaking your
Yeah.
weapon?
Oh yeah, go nuts. This makes sense.
Sweet.
I think we
I
got
also-
sort of tacit permission when he's like, I can't use
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah.
Me wielding it is also such a bad idea because every time I get hurt, it's gonna like make every combat a fucking pain in the neck. Like it's
Figured.
Can I try
I think
something?
we should. I
Yes,
think we should
yes.
not let
Yeah,
our brother
Ollie.
be addled by addiction to an axe.
Ollie's gonna walk into the room that Goose is in and is eating the brownies. I found hallway brownies. Fudge.
Those were apology fudge.
Sadness caramels, apology fudge, and hallway brownies.
I had something to ask you. Ask you.
I gotta talk to you as well.
Jesus.
You see, Goose he's got the time forward stick and it's been like swirling the brown liquor he bought.
Oh my god, nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I
like,
love that.
Actually,
Jackobe
was
was
going to
right.
talk to you, Ollie. It's good that you're here. And he puts the stick aside, puts the bottle between them, and he's like, "We got to have the talk."
Okay,
Have
we're
the
gonna
talk.
cut to just them smash. Lyndon, I want you to go ahead and try to smash, and then we'll
You gonna
probably.
roll
All right. Yep,
Only
I'm
one
gonna
of the
roll it
stock is-
because I have cast enlarge on myself.
Yeah.
So I've doubled in all dimensions, which gives me advantage on all strength-related checks and saving throws. I'm then just for flavor, I'm gonna cast magic weapon on.
'Kay.
Oh no, I'm not. They're both concentration spells. So I will just cast the enlarge and then I'll smash it. I'm gonna do it. Here we
Go
go.
for-
I believe in you. With advantage.
With advantage.
Forget. Oh my god!
Oh no.
No.
This is why.
With
Fucking hell, Rob.
advantage.
It's better be good.
That's 10
10.
on the athletics check.
What hit points are you
What would
at?
you have got?
Yeah, I'm just gonna roll just for the
Just
fun of it.
Just to
All
see.
11 of your hit points.
Terrible.
All 11 of your hit
Okay.
points. He's
I would have
rested,
rolled with
surely.
advantage because of enlarged juice.
Yeah,
Also,
you
the
also-
same.
you rolled the same roll.
Okay, we both
Perfect.
would have gotten a 10.
The
Good to know.
unmaking magic or dispelling magic is something normally that is reserved for like incredibly high level wizards, sorcerers. It's a very difficult thing to do. It's almost divine in its presentation. The fact that you're trying this with an artificer who has kind of partially begun figuring out how to unmake magic, or at least disperse it back to the weave, is very dangerous. And in fact, what you're doing is completely irresponsible. Jackobe doesn't necessarily know this. You certainly don't know this. And in exploding this device, the power of a fireball explodes in a sealed chamber. So you failed to contain it, which means all three of you will need to make dexterity saving throws.
Oh,
But
can
what
I?
about Jacobe's face?
Can I? Sorry, can I? Shield. There's a reaction, right?
It doesn't
Shield
help
doesn't
with
help
the.
against
It's
dexterity, does it?
it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it increases
Absorb
your armor
elements
class.
does.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
balance
okay,
might
okay,
help
okay.
you.
And
Then I'm
Zach, with Ollie next to you, as you tell him, we need to have the talk. I need. Okay, what?
Ah!
So Ollie, I need you to make a dex saving throw as well.
Ollie as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
All right.
I need to make dex
Zach, Goose, you need to make a con saving throw. So Corey, what'd you get?
Okay.
I got a 12.
Okay, that's a fail. And Lyndon?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's what I got.
Both of you fail. Okay, let me give me a second.
Ollie did not go too well. That's a 7.
7. Okay, and Goose, what'd you get?
12.
Okay, Lyndon, Corey, you both suffered. Lyndon, Corey, you both suffered 29 points of fire damage. As the explosion rattles you, you hit the side of the wall, and you watch as you fall, almost partially smoldering. Your robes caught on fire. The weapon is unmade. Jackobe had ducked in the corner in his little pocket place because he knew this could happen. It's happened to him before. And as he stands up, he'll lift Corey first, and then you, Lyndon, to bring you back to your feet. But you are very hurt. The doors. Meanwhile, Goose, as this sort of pulse, you feel a sudden stab as if a knife has been driven through your heart. You, for the first time so far, vomit out a gout of acid draconic breath.
Oh,
Ollie, you're standing directly in his way. What did you roll for?
Oh, no.
What did you roll for your dex save?
7. Rackham. 7.
All right, you suffer as the dragon, as the black dragon breath sort of engulfs you. Give me a second. This is not good, but it's not terrible either, I think. Let's find out. I don't remember the number. It is... Ugh, okay.
It's fine. Hurt me, GM. Hurt me good.
Don't hurt him. He's my brother.
All right.
Ollie, what's your maximum hit points?
I mean, I'll tell you, it's 48.
Okay, you suffer 52 points of acid damage.
Oh my gosh.
What the fuck?
As the gout of acid that comes out, you are caught so unawares, it hits you in the chest, and you watch as the consciousness leaves your body, as the flesh begins to kind of come off. You instantly fall unconscious to the ground. Goose in front and gouging coming out of your mouth. The last words you said is, "We need to have the talk." Engulfing your brother in this acid breath that came out of nowhere. You look around
Shoot him
you,
up!
and the waste and the damage that you have done on this day to your family and to your host has been indescribable. And we'll leave it.
His favorite. The only one he hasn't hurt yet.
And we'll leave it here, as we'll pick up next
Oh my
week
God!
with you in the depth of the northern waste, with Goose slowly going around killing his family. Nice.
Oh my god.
this-
Addiction
just
kills
FYI.
Goose.
Yeah,
All of this came from me casting Identify on the Dragonelle signal tube.
Yeah.
that is correct.
Yep. Mhm.
Yep.
It was a flashback to be like, what did we do in our downtime?
Well,
I
it
don't
seems
even
that,
know
you
what
know,
happened
Yeah.
over
Reading
the
the list
time.
of all of the
I
things
guess
we
that
did.
just
I
goes
know.
to show,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Don't let your players flashback.
Yeah. I mean, the
Yeah.
question is,
Yeah.
like, how did Ollie, like, be okay with, I
Yeah.
mean, like...
I mean, you're unconscious. You're not
So-
dead, but you're definitely
Yeah, I know.
unconscious. Yeah. What's
yeah,
up?
yeah, but you
We'll
said the
find out
flesh
next
is
week,
falling
I'm
off me.
assuming.
So,
Acid.
Ollie's
Yeah.
gonna evolve
Yeah, yeah.
into. If I had a before and after, there's definitely gonna be an after. Sorry, go ahead, Corey.
I was gonna ask. So last time, Lyndon got injured, and I was kind of, like I was holding back my emotions about leaving our dad, and Corey was kind of like in the flames and losing her mind, and has just spent the last 24 hours slowly going insane, trying to keep runes from like the house destroying. And then her and her brother took 29 points of fire damage.
Mm-hmm.
Is Corey okay?
You tell me. Is Corey okay?
We'll find out next week.
All right, we'll find out next week.
Uh,
And
Goose
Ollie,
is not gonna be
oh my
alright
gosh. Okay,
after
well, I
this.
think the question is Goose okay after killing
Yeah, Goose is
everybody?
gonna lose it.
No,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
gonna be fucked up.
Yeah,
I've re-prepared magic weapon
yeah.
to take every day to give you magic weapon on your weapon, just to make up for the fact that I destroyed a +1 axe for you.
I love it.
Okay, it's
Oh my
it's not gonna really
God.
feel like he's gonna be hard done by. I don't think.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
look, everyone, the consequence of our actions.
You're gonna owe me
Well,
so much apology, Fudge.
Because I
Goose,
grabbed
sir,
and
like,
axe.
yeah,
Yeah,
This is
Hold
your
it, brownies.
consequences of your actions: looting a good axe.
that's it. Exactly.
To whoever said this is because Juniper picked on one of his scales, I'd like to
Yeah.
just say that this is a ticking time bomb waiting to
Yeah.
happen.
Oh,
Yep.
It
Yep.
could have been any
Good to know that
option.
there's a person in the ring.
Hmm.
Jesus.
Hey, listen,
Sentient force in the ring. That was good to find out.
good to find out.
I better be able to do that sweet acid breath later.
Yeah.
That's
May-
pretty cool.
Yeah, with 52
Maybe.
points of damage.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes, please.
Maybe. Hey, look, you should look up young black dragon stat and find out for yourself. We'll see.
Holy
We'll
shit.
see. So, before we head out for the day, first of all, AJ, are you going to be streaming, or no? You're still in New Zealand, right?
I'm still uneasy.
Okay, yeah, you're right there. Right. Hello. So I'm assuming no world building today. Perfect. Let's go around the table and see where we can find you lovely people. You know, maybe at Gen Con, everybody. Let's go around and start with Ellen. We landed it with you last time. We'll start with you this time.
Hi, I am emotionally devastated. Follow me on Twitter at EllenKGraham1 or on Instagram at EllieB96. You can follow my drag king, Fuckboy George, at FBoyGeorge69 on Instagram. He's always great fun. But mainly, please follow Roll to Cast on all of the socials. Some of you guys have migrated to the Discord. Love that. Love to see you guys in the chat. It's always very, very, very fun. Please check out our latest season 9 of the Actual Play podcast, which is our Die season by the amazing comic book writer Kieran Gillen. I am the GM for that one. So yeah, would really appreciate you guys listening, giving feedback, all that good stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yay! Rob, the only one to leave unscathed from Goose's actions. I think you're the only one who hasn't
Goose
gotten hasn't been
Goose
hurt by
hasn't
your brother.
attacked me yet. We'll see. It'll get there.
Yeah.
There's plenty of time.
Yeah.
Hey, now's your chance. I've only got 8 hit points right now. So
I
you
could finish them off.
I could kill them all and be the hardest. Like it's Captain
win.
Planet. Collect them all. Yeah.
I'm Robert Hartley. I'm a dungeon master and a game master and a full-time professional TTRPG player nerd. I am found all over the internet at Robert Hartley GM. You can also find me DMing for a comedy group called Viva La Dirt League on YouTube.
Woohoo. Nice,
Check it
thanks, Rob. Zach, Mr. Murder Pants today. What's going on? I'm gonna stop inviting him to stuff. He's killing everybody.
My poor silly boy, my silly little man.
Oh no.
It sounds like a cat name.
Oh no.
Zach Speaks Giant and other things. YouTube channel, Twitch, etc. You can find me. I share silly D&D stories and silly D&D thoughts as well.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Wow, those okay.
Sad.
Dread. Don't be sad.
Oh, hi there.
Hi.
I'm Dreaded GM. If you want to see what I do, again, you can just type it in your local internet machine, I believe Zach put before,
That's the one.
and you'll be able to
That's the
find
one.
it. Dreaded GM is what you should search. Currently, I'm running a Call of Cthulhu campaign at 7 p.m. AEST every week with one of the members from Roll the Cast, which is amazing as well, and it's been an absolute blast. So, if you want some horrific, fun 1923 storytelling, it's something that you should check out. The campaign's called Horror on the Orient Express, and we're about to finish our first scenario, which is very exciting because it's only going to get crazier on that crazy train going on. Yeah, I've got other things going on, but you'll have to follow me on Twitter or join my Discord where you will find out about that. And every week I'm here as well with these chuckleheads and having as much fun as possible. And yeah.
Heck yeah. Nice.
Cool.
Thanks, Dread. Last but not least, the person who's doing their very best to get on a plane from a country that's very far away, traverse 8 oceans, 12 deserts, 17 mountain ranges, and 1 goose, which is probably going to be the hardest part of it all, to come to Gen Con. AJ.
Hey, hello.
Hey.
I've got to get the nervous, sort of jittery, post-Corey breakdown energy out of me. But hello, my name is AJ Winters. I am a professional world builder and dungeon master from Winter's Tales. And currently we are doing a one-shot week event over on Winter's Tales on Twitch, where it is 8 days of 8 one-shots. We have game 3 tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. AEST or 6 p.m. EST the day before, so on the 6th of July. Yeah, I know time zones. I can do it in my head. We are going to be having a chaotic week, all in the hopes of raising some funds to send myself to Gen Con, which is a very exciting opportunity because I've got some cool things I could do if I just can raise the funds to get on a plane and go over there. So it would be an absolute honor to be able to do that and to continue the career that is me playing Corey and doing fun role playing stuff on the internet. So yeah, come along and help us do that. That would be freaking amazing. Otherwise, I'll see you next week on Wednesday for the next episode of Dragonlance.
Hell yeah. Thanks. I too will be at Gen Con. I'm not planning to do, like, it's funny because I'm not nearly as far and I think I have like way less planned than you guys already. But I'm gonna be there and I'm mostly gonna be playing games and talking to maybe meeting some cool people. And that's it. If you see me there, you know, feel free to say hi, but I'll be really awkward about the whole thing, so expect that. I'm not a hugger, by the way. It's just, you know, that's fine. It's just a note to self. What have I been doing? We're getting ready to launch our second game on Wednesday evenings. I think we're starting the 19th. I'm very excited. Zach will be one of the players and a couple others, so that's what's been going on. I've also been playing Elden Ring. I don't know why. My chat is challenging me with a bunch of hard, quote-unquote, hard games. It's not even that hard. It's just kind of annoying. We're near the end, and so if that's a thing that you want to see, I'll be playing that tomorrow, and then Friday is more chat plays D&D. We have raised 55 of the $100 to do the next prequel, so we're well on our way. Thank you to those who have donated. I would love to see AJ come to Gen Con, so I've also thrown, you know, like 20 Canadian dollars, which is like $8 apparently USD these days, her way to be like, hey, come on up. So if you have
Still
some
better
bits
than
and
the Australian dollar.
I guess if you have bits and bobs to spare, feel free to go check out that coffee link. Anyhow, we're done for today. We'll be back. Well, I'll be back tomorrow, but follow all these lovely people. I'm so happy that they agreed to play D&D with me. I did not bully them into it at all, right?
Except for today.
Except for today.
I mean,
Yeah. We're going to be...
Honestly, I would love to see more bullying from Rackham.
Goodbye forever. See you later.
There you go. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.